how the hell do you keep your edge up so?
I just asked him.
I done lost my hair, and I'd be looking. I'm
Did
like,
you lose your hair? No. I thought you just shaved it bald.
You gotta hit him with Akbar with the God only made so many beautiful heads, the rest he covered with hair.
Dang.
hey.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like
He's not just a voice, he's a movement. A New York Times bestselling author, an Emmy Award-winning host, and the fearless creator of Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, Emmanuel Acho is a man who stands at the intersection of purpose and power. From the NFL locker rooms to living rooms, his journey is as bold as it is inspiring. He continues to lead with clarity, courage, and conviction. The son of Nigerian immigrants, he's a passionate philanthropist and a proud brother. Emmanuel carries his heritage with pride and his mission with precision. With every word, he challenges the comfortable. With every platform, he opens minds. This is Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel, man, welcome.
Yeah, baby, what's up? What's up,
I love it. I love it. Who wrote that last line, though? That wasn't you.
No, actually, it was.
It's the way he talks. I got a question first. We got to ask. Oh, wait, we do the. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, we can always come back to it. Yeah, okay, we start up here. Okay, so
my bad.
The way we like to open up 154 is we do a little toast with a little palm wine and chin chin. So there it is right there. You get the, I'll grab the chin chin here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to celebrate a little bit, do a little toast.
It's like a little
All right,
toast.
go ahead. You can grab some of that.
Get that chin chin. That's real chin chin.
That's the
Right
thing.
there.
I don't drink palm wine.
Okay.
I don't, but I eat chin chin.
You eat chin chin.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
glass,
They ain't
though.
gonna
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
you.
Let's get a glass.
There.
Get a glass.
Little something,
Okay,
something.
you want some of that?
A little chin.
All right.
I got a palm wine horror story.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta
Okay.
hear that.
All right, hold on. A little toast here. Boom. Boom.
Evil pudding.
Do tell.
Huh.
Do tell.
Oh, my brother was getting married.
Okay.
I went to the dentist today, so I got to be gentle with the chin chin.
Which side?
We have a dentist. we have a dentist in studio.
You're gonna have to suck on the chin. Soften it up, son.
Look, my brother was getting married, y'all know, Nigerian trad wedding in the village.
Right.
Dancing out there, dancing. Man, somebody had a bad batch of palm wine, boy. I was sick for about 3 to 4 days, bro.
Is that right? And so it sends that.
I done put down the palm wine.
You know what's crazy? So the very first episode,
Yeah.
I had never had palm wine in my life. And so they go, oh, it's not, there's no real alcohol in it, it's just palm wine. And I'm just thinking palm oil, palm wine. I said, no problem. So I'm going, Man, halfway in the interview, I'm like, ooh.
He's like, where are your family from? I said, whoa. I was like, yeah, where are your family from?
They said 0.009% alcohol. They meant 9%.
Yeah.
But no, it was really fun. I had a similar story because my mom and dad used to throw, my mom threw parties at the house.
That's like mine.
And it was like
House party.
like champagne for the adults, apple cider for the kids.
No doubt, Martinelli's?
Yeah, the Martinellis. You already know.
I think we all grew up in the same household.
Yeah, same household.
That's it.
And I remember I was in the 4th grade and I was drinking the apple cider. I was like, oh, this is good. Go back for more. You forgot where you put your cup. You just go get another thing. And I drank, I was like, this tastes spoiled, but maybe it's not spoiled or whatever. I don't know the difference. I'd never had alcohol before. I drank that whole thing and the room was spinning and I was like, oh my goodness.
Right.
And then I just started throwing up. My mom, oh my God, oh, Cammy, what? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
so sorry. Until this day, I do not drink champagne. I can't even smell it. For my wedding, Martinelli's.
Really?
I did no champagne, like not.
You had the sparkling.
The smell takes me.
Martinelli?
Yep, it takes me back.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
I'm the apple Martinelli's. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The grape, it reminds me of church communion. I'm the apple.
Apple, right? No, apple.
Be honest. I'm being honest today.
I have it in my green room, Martinelli's. I have the little bottles in
Which
my green
flavor?
room. Oh no, apple juice. The little Martinelli's.
Yeah.
It's like the best choice ever because even the staff be like, "Can I get a Martinelli's?" You know, it's the greatest shit ever.
Yeah, man. You know, you've blown up, man. You know,
Yeah.
we're so proud of how you represent the community, how you represent yourself. Your full name, like give us the full name. You know,
How long?
We can be long.
How many letters?
I'm 32 letters deep. I went with you 28. You're
I'm
28.
a little lower than you because he got like it looked like a disease. It's just like this. I think he caught the That's a skin disease right there inside.
You made me a skin.
Does he look like he have a skin disease? Look at that perfect Nigerian skin.
Yo,
this is long.
I did. It's interesting though. I heard you say your name one time on the talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me hear yours, and I got.
Okay, watch.
Okay. Akbar Oluwakemi Idowu Bajabiamila.
That's it's the Baja.
Bajabiamila.
Yeah.
Because everybody says Akbar Bajabiamila.
Yeah. I say it that way too, but it's because I get tired of, having to, because my dad, he would always punch the emphasis. And then you just get wrong. It's like, I'm not going to have all these American cats
Trying to say.
going, Baja. No, because I was like, oh, Dad, no. No. I mean, my friends would come out, how are you doing, Mr. No. I said, Dad,
Do the regular people, like Americans, when they would say it, like the guy on Warrior, does he go, hey, Budge B?
No, Matt Eisman.
How does he
There's the American version, and then there's the
What's his
Nigerian
version when he goes?
No, he hits the American version.
Oh, okay.
Akbar, I'm here alongside Big Man Akbar Bajabiamila.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
What do you say?
Bajabiamila.
What do you say at Starbucks?
At Starbucks.
Oh, it's Starbucks.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
It's Aqua. Because every time I go, it's like they have a written thing, like, hey, when that dude comes in, like it's Aqua, no matter all throughout. It's like somebody sent it throughout the entire Starbucks network. Every time I say Akbar, they go, oh, Aqua?
Yeah.
I'm like,
And it's Akbar.
So now I just go Aqua. And then when I say Aqua, they look at me funny like, Aqua, your name's
So
Aqua?
it's interesting,
What is
right?
yours?
Because I'm the youngest. By the time they got to me, I got 3 older siblings. My Igbo name is my middle name. So all my other siblings, the Igbo name is their first name.
Okay.
My Igbo name is my middle name because in school, my parents want to be Emmanuel Chinedu Acho.
Chinedu.
Okay.
So Chinedu, God guides me. So mine is fairly simple, right?
Yeah.
Emmanuel came first, so most people only call me Emmanuel. Yeah. My parents go Nedu or Chinedu or Chi.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what they call you at home?
At home,
Yeah.
my sisters call me Chi. My dad, Chinedu.
Yeah.
And my mom, probably Chi.
Gee, okay. Oh, that's cool. We all have interesting stories about how our family, came to this country. How did your mom and dad, what was their story coming to this country?
Pops was preaching in Nigeria, like on buses, wherever he could preach as an evangelist. He was just preaching. And then these 2 American evangelists brought him to America, to Virginia first. Pops came by himself. So Pops is in Virginia, he's preaching, he's like working at a janitor at a college where he's going to college, I think Liberty. And then Mom comes over 2 years later. Mom was a nurse in Nigeria, but y'all know, when you come to America, all them papers is start over.
That's right.
So Mom and Pops is now, they're at Liberty, going to school, cleaning. One's at I think Richmond, or one's at Liberty, and they're cleaning as janitors at nighttime. And then Dad ends up moving to Texas. Mom moves to Texas. They move to Texas together. Dad goes to get his Ph.D. at North Texas in psychology. So Dad ends up getting his doctorate as a marital counselor, marital therapist. Mom ends up getting her doctorate at Texas Women's University, her doctorate in nursing. So Mom ends up being a DNP. Dad gets his doctorate in psychology. Right. We all grow up in Dallas.
Wow.
Look at that. My sister lives in Coppell. 20 years now.
Yep.
Coppell.
That's pretty cool. It's cool to hear, your parents' story, like how and why they came to this country.
Yeah.
Like what have you learned from all the years and the stories that they've shared about coming to this country?
Bro, I like that question because I haven't answered it because I learned it most recently. As my parents are getting older, you start to ask them more real questions. You know what I'm saying? And Nigeria know that Kerry last didn't hit me until I was sitting across from my dad We were at a restaurant called Hillstone, also known as Houston's in LA. It's South.
Oh, Houston's,
Grill.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
My favorite restaurant. So we're sitting at this restaurant, and I go, Pops, what was it like trying to figure it out in America? And he said, well, son, remember, I'm a black man with an accent. So he's like, I'm a black man with an accent, and I'm trying to get a doctorate, but I'm getting a Ph.D., not at any university. He's like, I got it at a white university. You feel me? He's like, I got it at a predominantly white university when black people didn't have PhDs. So my dad gets his PhD in the 80s in North Texas. Meanwhile, he's going to be a pastor. But being a pastor at a startup church, he can't really make all that kind of money. So getting a PhD while being a pastor, while having 4 kids, cleaning as a janitor at night just to pay the bills. And then he would tell me when he first had it, my older sister, they would sit her at the desk, clean the rooms, you know what I mean, to make sure to make ends meet. And my parents said, like, and our dessert for dinner on a date night would be a Dairy Queen 99-cent cone sandwich. Ice cream cone sandwich.
Sounds good, though.
It's
Shit's
fire.
Gooder than a
Fire.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, I'm like, bro, how can I fail? You feel me? Like, when you think about, like, so wait, mom and dad, you came to America with nothing.
Yeah.
You had a kid. You're cleaning classrooms, going to school during the day, trying to raise a daughter at night, and then you're going to get your doctorate when you barely speak good English. Like, who am I? Where's my excuse?
Wow.
What's my excuse? So that really hit me. Conversation I had a few months ago with Pops, and that's really hit me of like, okay, that's how they did it.
Yeah, it sounds like your dad never slept either. You know what I mean?
straight
Like,
up.
'cause that right there, I mean, that just gave me a little bit like, oh shoot, how do you manage that? Like being a father now, I'm like, man, like
You just do it.
It's hard to
But
manage.
you do it, though.
Yeah, you
But
do.
You do it because you have to.
Yeah.
My father used to always say, I told you my father loved looking out the window while he was talking to me.
Yeah.
He just would
Dramatic. I love
He'd be
it.
like, you have the same brain as anybody. You have the same brain. Even a madman knows his way home. You know, Nigerians have sayings. He'd be like, all right, I guess the madman knows his way home. All right. And he would say, you have the same brain. You can't be what, He said, I wish I was born here. Boy, I'm telling you, you will never see my back. I never knew what that meant either.
Break that one down.
I'm still trying to figure it out. My father would say shit like, I don't know what that means. But he said, you never see my back. I don't know what that means. I still don't know what that means. But it was more about success, like maybe
Maybe you keep going so
just
much.
keep
like,
going.
Always moving forward.
You never see my back. Or something like that. It's something like that. But I knew it was about succeeding, and you just don't have no excuse. Everything's the opportunity.
It's interesting when you think about like what first generations went through and what our parents and my parents and y'all's parents had to go through. Because like, imagine going to another country, you don't speak the language, you starting from nothing, you already black, and you broke, and you got to try to make it. You know what I mean? Just the fact that we all sitting here having this conversation to
It's
me
'cause of what they've
is a testament to
And it's probably like,
what they've done.
and it's like the 70s, right? That was probably like
Exactly, late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s. My dad came in 1974, and I actually got the story pretty late in life too, because I don't know, maybe it's typical of Nigerians, but like Nigerian parents don't sit and talk about their struggle.
No,
and
they don't.
You know, like they may give it to you in
A little bit here and there.
but they don't tell you the story. And so I remember when I started to write my book, I said, my dad was so inspirational to me. I said, I need to interview my dad for one of the chapters. And I sat down and formulated all these questions, and I just learned all this stuff when he came in 1974, and he only had like $100 in his name. And I'm like, you came all the way to this country, and somebody like he was nice to somebody in Nigeria. This guy worked with the embassy, was able to get him a visa to come here that turned into, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh shoot, like
A lot of
that
favors.
one drive from driving somebody and being just nice and cool landed him here and started his journey.
Correct.
And so like learning those things is like, man, it made me realize why my dad was the way he was raising us and the things that meant the most to him.
Yeah.
When you think about your mom and your dad and you think about how they raised you, what do you think meant the most to them?
Education.
Boom.
Yeah.
They told us when we were little, when you graduate college, that was at 5. You're like, oh yeah, we're going So when you finish college, I'm coming from baseball, I'm dirty, you're like, what? When you finish college, it was always ingrained in us.
Yeah.
you're gonna go to college. That's just normal to you. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college.
Even like you playing sports, you balling in sports, and you get a C. I'll pull you out of this class. I just pull you know what I mean? It's like, Pops, like I'm not failing.
Yeah, right.
And mind you, like I got a scholarship to Texas. You threatening to pull me out of football? Like, because I got a C? Like, bro, I got a full ride.
That's how important it is to them, because they feel like it's transitional. If you get hard, what are you? You need something, because even when I started comedy, my father said, that's good, but what do you use for backup? And comedy, no. Then what if it fails? I'm like, damn. All I thought was, I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
But he says, but just make sure, because of course I got my degree, psychology, and blah, blah, blah. But he just felt it might not work. That might not. But
Did you have that pressure too? Like
I went to Chili's. My senior year after I graduated. It's a true story.
After college or high school?
After high school.
Okay. Yeah.
And go to Chili's, and Chili's, you know, back in the day, Chili's was a spot.
It was a spot.
Baby back. Yeah.
Chili's, baby back grill, barbecue sauce. So went to Chili's, and my dad was like, okay, what you want to do when you graduate, et cetera. And I'm like, I want to be a personal trainer, I think, want to coach people, fitness, all things. He said, that's a hobby. I said, no, it's a job, Dad. He said, training. He said, no, what? I was like, oh, like you for real about this education stuff. And so that's when I really was like, okay, this education stuff ain't no joke. And then y'all know what it is. Like, I think there's a standard that is set amongst Nigerians. I got 2 degrees. My brother has 2 degrees. My sister got 3 degrees. My other sister got 3 degrees. Like, and it's just, education is everything. I can't afford to feel lesser than. You feel me? Like, you going to college, it's almost like there's this unspoken cultural standard that every Nigerian has to hit. And if you don't hit it, shame on you.
There's shame. Embarrass. Don't embarrass us. You felt that.
1,000%.
Your family's from where? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my Imo State, Arundiziogo. Where are your people from?
Abia State. Isukwata.
Okay. But the village, what's in the village? Isukwata. See,
you guys are both Igbo.
Igbo, no, big time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, don't look at me crazy.
No. He was like this. Man, this is love.
Yeah. Anyway, next question. I don't like the way that Yoruba face was looking at me. Now it's 2 Igbos in this bitch. 2 Igbos in this bitch. Yo, my friends used to say that, man, are you Igbo? The Southern brother like, man, yeah, man, you Igbo, right? I said, yeah, Igbo. He's like, okay, Igbo, my boy is Yoruba. That was the Chicago thing. Yo, man, my boy is Yoruba, man. I want to go, man.
You know what's funny about that? I had a funny experience in college. I was kind of a smart mouth, and this is San Diego State. Yeah. And I forgot some history class, and this teacher's super into herself, and she goes, and so the Yorubas, and I couldn't hold myself. Yoruba. Yoruba. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Oh, I hate it.
I've been doing this for Yorubas.
She Karen'd you.
I'm actually from, from Nigeria. And it was just like, just shut up. Just shut up. Now, this is the 90s, so it was not the, there wasn't the political correctness. It was just like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just sitting there like, you're just saying it wrong. You're saying Yoruba. It's not Yoruba.
I remember when it was an audition for CBS out in there. There was a Nigerian character. I said, oh, shit. I'm in this. I come in there, so I was, I'm doing my thing. And she go, and a little white woman, it's like this. It's not. You don't look Nigerian. I go, I'm Nigerian. You want me to be like, I wanted to choke this, but I couldn't do it because she was a producer. I'm like, you're telling me that I'm not Nigerian? She goes, you don't look Nigerian. Your name is Godfrey. Now what do I look like? Hey, now, I was so pissed, yo.
Did you get the job?
No.
You don't look Nigerian.
I ain't been back in years.
Oh, my goodness. You ain't been back in years. When's the last time you've been to Nigeria?
Last summer, man.
I was last December.
This most recent December?
The December right before
23.
the last one. I was gonna go to that one, but I messed up. I was supposed to go to Jamaica. A lot of shit messed up. But I was last December, the year before. It was dirty December.
I gotta go to a dirty December. I've never been to a dirty December.
No, we all gotta go, man.
I went. Pops opened up. He built like a condo in Port Harcourt. And so I just went to the opening. So I usually, my family does medical mission trips in Nigeria every summer in where we're from, in Isuquato.
Yeah.
So we go with doctors, nurses, like 40, 50
dope.
people. Yeah. Finally, we built a hospital there in 2017.
Fire.
So like was always doing that. Then when I got the Daily Show, I can't go back as much. But last year, I slid over there for 2 days, just in and out.
I remember a couple years ago, I saw like on social, and there was like a fire in the backyard or something like that. What was that?
So look.
Yeah, what was that?
Nigeria.
Yeah.
So y'all know what it is. We got like this major compound in the village.
Yeah.
And the compound is a brick wall just separates compound to compound.
Yeah.
And so I wake up, my sister and them are getting their hair braided. Y'all know, Nigeria, got to get the hair braided on the cheap. Getting the hair braided. It might be 3 o'clock in the morning. I hear boom, 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 boom. Chi, wake up, it's a fire. Huh? I open the curtain and I just see fire, like on the other side of the brick wall, about to intrude into our compound. It was right there on this side.
Yeah.
So now we all have a decision to make, because y'all know Nigeria ain't no fire alarm people, ain't no firemen, it's y'all.
Isn't that messed up?
But bruh, Nigerians are so brilliant because without even communicating, we all just rally together. So dirt's just on the ground. Some people just picking up dirt, throwing it in buckets, Other people, baking soda from the kitchen, taking baking soda, mixing it with water, and we running buckets from the kitchen probably 150 yards to the fence, and we're throwing it over.
But that's more than a football fence.
Yeah. I mean, we're running it from the kitchen all the way to where the fire is, because we understand that we got to get to the fire before the fire gets to our side. Furthermore, here was the issue. There was a generator which powers the house, which was adjacent to the brick wall by the fire. So if the fire gets to the generator,
the whole thing it's done.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so it's village kids from all over the village, me and my whole family, we all awake. Everybody, like people I didn't even know was in the compound. You know, people just be sleeping wherever. And we all just grabbing buckets, grabbing stuff, grabbing sand, grabbing baking soda. And it was the scariest yet most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ever witnessed.
It was like came together to put out
Everybody
the
came together and put out the fire.
Dirt. I like the Africans just throwing dirt. You have to go. The fire.
But the fire went out.
It went out.
It went out.
It was a major
How many
fire.
hours? How many hours was that?
Probably 90 minutes. Because what was crazy was, here's the kicker I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Before I went to sleep, we saw a small ember in a distance. You feel me?
You were
probably 800 meters away.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, oh, that'll go out.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, wake up, flames, and now on you. I thought that little small fire was gonna go out, but y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
Village, wind, nothing
no
but
doubt.
trees and grass. So it was, I'll show you all the video when we get out of here.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Son.
You know, your family, they speak English at home? Did they speak Igbo at home? What was that like when your parents got into arguments? What was that experience like?
It's funny because I'm the youngest, they were speaking much more English by the time they got to me, because they had been here for so long.
Yeah.
They were speaking Igbo, but there even comes a point where I'm like, my parents speak English so often that y'all know their Igbo gets a little more, they start forgetting how to say like refrigerator and them arbitrary words in Igbo.
Right.
So for the most part, it was broken. That's why I can
Broken
understand
English.
it, but I can understand it broken.
Right, me too.
If somebody is just speaking Igbo fluently,
done.
nonstop, I'm tapped.
Yeah.
Broken though, I could pick up.
Yeah, that's because my mother, I asked my mother, I said, okay, my mother, I told him, my mother spoke Yoruba and Igbo. She flipped the languages because she grew up in Lagos. And I said, I said, how come I can't speak? My sister knows it, but she doesn't speak it because she was born there.
Yep.
And I said, how come we didn't speak anything to us? She goes, she admitted, she goes, I was speaking it to you when you were, but then we got lazy. She just kept it real. Like, it had to have been, because I would like to know what you're saying in pure Igbo. I know when you're breaking it up in English.
Yeah.
Now in Nigeria, I was hanging out with my cousins in Nigeria. It's pidgin now. They don't really do Igbo.
It's really pidgin.
It's all pidgin.
And what number are you in birth?
I'm second. My sister, me, and my brother.
Oh, your brother. Okay.
But I'm first son.
You're first son. You're
Master
first son.
Godfrey. I was Master Godfrey till I was 16. So they'd be like, Master Godfrey. I'd be like, my brother, you back up, man.
Did your parents try to teach you Igbo?
No, man. Like they would take us back every year, and so
Which was great.
which was
It's
amazing.
amazing.
And honestly, bro, if you're there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Yeah.
you start to pick it up. You start to realize, wait a second, I sound real Nigerian right now. You come back to America
talking
and
like
you gotta cause I went to private school.
Yeah.
So I would come back from a 3-week Christmas trip and, can I get the water? May I get the water, please? You know what I mean? You gotta start like,
And the teacher will be asking you a question. She'll be like, so Emmanuel, do you have a question? Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what
Wait at the time. And so I was there. I was just.
That's a pretty cool experience.
that's my favorite.
Can you do it?
No, I could never do it.
Nah,
My father was
It's
good.
a little bit, yeah.
The next time, I
Yeah.
would just flow. When he used to watch boxing, my father boxing, he'd be like, come on now.
I got a question for y'all though.
Yeah.
Because when my parents been in America for forever,
Yeah.
but I'm still surprised
Yeah.
when they mispronounce a word
Yeah.
that's just like English.
It's stubborn.
It's like, bruh.
Like, what's some of the words for you?
So one day, my mom was like, she was singing this song. It was like maybe some Igbo song. She was like, I'm a Milonia, I'm a Milonia. And I was like, what the hell is she saying? Oh, she's saying, I'm a millionaire. I'm a Milonia. And then I was talking to her about like where the combine was gonna be. And I was like getting ready for combine. She's like, isn't it gonna be in Indianapolis? Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And then, bro, I was like, wait a second. Like, every now and then I'll say when I'm like, Ma, y'all been here for so long.
Yeah.
And you still say pepe instead of pepper.
Yeah, not pepper.
And you'll never say pepper.
Pepe soup.
Pepe.
Or stuff that like my dad would never. I mean, Dad came here in '74, been here forever. He will still say, we call Sepulveda here, Suple Vida. There's no S-O-U. For a long time when we drive here, I wouldn't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for the S-O-U-P, like soup, Suple Vida. And
It's like Europeans. Europeans. My father-
Yes.
You know the Europeans.
Yeah.
Europeans. What are you gonna? You're not gonna. See, I don't know if your parents used for glass. It was tumbler. Get me tumbler. That's a British term because we're British.
or my mom.
Tumbler or the boots for the trunk.
The boot for the trunk.
Put it in the boot. I'd be like,
What about this? My mom was like, at the washing machine, go grab my brazier. I was like, what?
brazier.
Yeah.
Damn, she's a wrong word.
Yeah, I was like, I had never
For the whole word.
like it was a long time before I knew what a bra.
Mind if I take off your brazier? I love a nice brazier. It's one thing I think is sexy is when you pull off a brazier. You gotta have a drink in your mouth. You're gonna say brazier.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet brazier.
Yeah, I know. It's actually I might say it to my wife today and see what she says.
Just
Take off your brazier. Who? What?
or a pen. A Brazil. Biro for a biro. Get to me biro. Biro is a pen. Oh. It's a pen. It's
Yeah.
British. It's British terms too. Bloody. They use bloody a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mad? Are you mad?
Are you mad? That's what I'm mad. Because there's certain words and phrases that only hit in pidgin or in the native tongue, right?
Yes.
Like, are you mad is so much better than like,
Are you
like,
crazy?
are you crazy? Or like, are you tripping? Or like, are you out your mind?
damn
I'm
mind.
like,
Are you mad?
Thunder gonna fire you.
Yeah.
That's
Are
my
you
favorite
mad?
one. Like that one, or like, God will deal with you.
Yeah.
Or hey, it's just my father like they was just hey. No, they didn't say a full sentence like and they just shoot it at hey.
Hey,
Now,
and you can fill in what.
we know it was fucked up.
Right.
Oh man.
That had to have been a major contrast because you talked about growing up in a private school. You grew up where?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Went to a private school. What was that like? Going, living in a Nigerian household, going to a private school. What was that like? What were your friends like? What was the community like?
So it was interesting. That's why I think I am where I am today, because I went to church in the hood.
Okay.
Right, so I went to church in at a place called Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff. I
church
was about to say Oak Cliff.
Predominantly, but just sound black.
Right,
Like
right.
I just went to
Oak
just
Cliff.
predominantly black.
Yeah.
Then I went to private school, St. Mark's, right? Episcopalian all-boys school.
Were you guys Episcopalian?
No, non-denominational. But the
Okay.
church was Episcopalian.
Well, I mean, my parents were Episcopalian, and I didn't know that until I was at church. My parents loved church. So you sit with your parents, and so everybody's going to get communion, right?
Yeah.
So, the music playing, and I'm like, I'm hungry. Give me a body of Christ, And I'm going, my father said, no, we don't do this. You don't go. I said, everyone's going to go get the chip. Everybody's getting the chip, right? I'm like, damn. And then I said, I don't understand. And he says, oh, we are Episcopal. Not Episcopalian, Episcopal.
Episcopal.
Yeah, we are Episcopalians.
Uh-huh.
I said, what the hell is that? It's like, everyone's getting a chip. It's like, we don't get, I said, we need to switch. I want a chip, bro. I'm starving. I earned my food. I don't get the body of Christ. How do we leave in this boring ass bass with no chip?
With no chip?
We are Episcopalian. So we're like second string Catholics. You feel me? That's second string.
Yeah.
Second string. I was like, oh, yeah.
Episcopal.
So
Oh,
that's
man,
when
I'm
you say
thinking
Episcopal. That's where we went.
Man, look.
So you went to private school?
Went to private school, St. Mark's, went to church in the hood, African household. So it was the dichotomy of trying to figure that all out. The hard part though, and maybe y'all can attest to this, when you at church, you're not black enough. When you at the white private school, you're not white enough. Then when you're at the Nigerian functions, you're not Nigerian enough.
That's triple. Trifecta, bro.
God.
Trifecta, bro.
Where do you fit in? Like, let's get into that conversation, because I think that conversation is real. It's one that's irritated me for so long. Like, I grew up here in LA, South Central LA, now South LA, Crenshaw neighborhood, and I got teased relentlessly. Like, oh, you speak white? And they're like, what? I didn't even grow up around white people. Like, I grew up in majority black neighborhood. Like, you know what I mean? But there was a certain standard that my parents came to this country and you were going to speak English properly, right? And so that was that. And then, but when you go and you're amongst aunties and uncles, it's just, oh, this one is.
So you don't speak.
So you don't speak. Oh, and they get you. And then you just go like, yeah, American. They're right. But then on the other side, you're being made fun of, like, oh, you African. And I'm like, dang, well, at least y'all recognize me as African. Like, it was like,
yeah.
It's
I fit in. And it actually made me empathize with my wife, who's mixed. She's black and white. And she talked about the same type of issue of like not being white enough, not being black enough. And so for me, it was like not being black enough, not being Nigerian enough.
It's that system of colonialism, the system of oppression that trickles down to colorism, to us intramural fighting, intraracial fighting. It comes from that top, and it's tough because when you're little and they calling you names, it's a different ball game. When you're like,
did you get that? Did you get that?
I really got, when they would make fun of you, my middle name Chinedu, but the M is silent. God's me. The is, me.
Yeah.
Chinedum, got that a lot.
Chinedum.
I got like, Emmanuel, speak Nigerian.
All the clicks.
I got the clicks.
And that's South Africa.
Exactly.
But it started from the Gods Must Be Crazy movie.
Oh, that one with the guys from South Africa.
And everybody just
started. But it was, and then when you got older, man, like I was telling, in college, when you're around people that are pro-black, connect to Africa, and you're like, I don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they were like, bro, you lucky, man. That's dope.
Because now it's cool. I was saying now being African, I tell people, honestly, for me, Black Panther switched it. In my mind, Black Panther is what made it being African. Now remember, to me, at least in my experience, because you were born when Black Panther came out, I was born in 90.
Okay.
So I'm just turned 30, been 34 for a little bit.
Okay.
When Black Panther came out, that's when I felt like everybody was trying to find their 23andMe and their ancestry. And now Wakanda was dope.
Yeah.
Now, like, oh, I need to go back to Ghana. I need to go back to Nigeria. I need to go back to the motherland.
Yeah.
Beforehand, it still wasn't cool. Like, coming to America still is a mockery of Africa. It still is like the hyperbolic, like perversions of Africa. And prior to Black Panther, everybody's TV or movie association with Africa wasn't dope.
No,
you know what I mean? It was still a mockery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Black Panther made it like, hold on now, let me go see what Africa's about. I would suggest that's really, at least for me,
It makes
when culturally, I feel like the movement started to kick in.
You know, and that's cool that you said that, because for me, for my generation, it was coming to America, and albeit a comedy and exaggeration, but what we saw luxury. We saw
At least we saw that royalty.
We saw royalty.
My son works.
My son works, and I will never forget what that did for me was it gave me the power to be accepted, because you're fighting this thing. Like, I didn't want to be othered in my neighborhood. I didn't want to be, made fun of constantly. Going to school every day was a battle. But then afterwards, I embraced coming to America.
But the
way
luxury
to be able to profess it.
But they obviously didn't believe it either, because it was so exaggerated.
No.
So it can't be that,
bro.
rich.
Let me tell you, I became a liar. I became a liar after that, because I would tell
your
your dad's a prince. Yeah, I said, I'm a prince. I'm like, oh yeah, I came into. You call any of my friends.
And you driving a cab.
I'm like I came into school today. I went to Audubon Middle School. I'm like, yeah, I dropped in on a helicopter before you guys got here. And I was like, dude, my dad is a prince. And my dad's name too was like very strong, Mustafa. So Mustafa sounded like, oh yeah, maybe he is a prince. Maybe he is a prince. Maybe he is a prince. Yeah. But yeah, I had to embellish that. But it gave me, that was my first sense of pride amongst my friends from school, where I could stand up on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was cool that was.
It's been an interesting dichotomy, I feel like, being Nigerian in America, especially now, because I also believe that, and we go in there, it's like our ancestors and our parents, because of some of the things that they verbalized about like Black Americans, then there's like an unspoken tension, as though like we're judgmental, or as though, now I just feel like we know who we are, not to suggest anybody else doesn't know who they are. It's just like, no, I'm Nigerian American.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fully Nigerian.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm fully American.
And what's crazy is that now, and I don't know if you get this a lot too, but I get this to where when I tell people I'm Nigerian American, nah, man, you Black. I'm like, you African. I was like, well, it's interesting, because because I was born here, man, you went to Crenshaw High School, man, you from Crenshaw. I'm like, well, hold on now, because if I was Indian, if I was Chinese, if I was Japanese,
you respect it.
You would honor it.
Yep.
You would go, wait. Even if I was born in America and I'm Chinese, Japanese,
You'll still say, here's the Chinese guy, there's the Korean guy.
You wouldn't, but when I profess, so that's the other side of it, because when I profess, like, hey, I'm Nigerian, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's not an attack on you. That's not.
But that's the low self-esteem. That's the thinking Black folks are just Black. It's just because of the way society has made Black just this thing, but everybody's Chinese. Like I said, you can see a Chinese dude from Texas go, man, I'm China. You'll be like, oh, this Chinese dude, you still connect him to his continent.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you'll believe a white South African, which is no such thing as a white African, unless they're albino, but you won't believe me when I say I'm Nigerian American, but you believe this Dutch dude that just said he was South African.
Right, it's interesting. You went to an audition and it was like,
you are not. That's how crazy it is. Yeah. We're not valued. But the fact, like you said, the fact that it's cool now. Now we go, no, we are Nigerian. This is our shit. What you talking about? You know what I mean? That's what I like. I like that though, and it's sticking. It's sticking.
So. Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys, professional athletes, for it sticking, because I love seeing your names on the back of the jersey go off the sleeve.
True
that was a good catch by Bamba Mila. What a play.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't remember this because you might have been a little too young, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Do you remember what his name looked like on the back of his jersey?
It had the dash.
No, it had the arch. And my rookie year in the NFL, I went to our equipment guy and go, I had this genius idea. Like, here I am coming in as an undrafted free agent, gonna tell the equipment guy how to put my name. I'm like, I've always wanted this. Can you put it like around it, like kind of like a rainbow, around the number, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? They're like, no. Stretch from this shoulder pad
under your arm.
all the way to this side.
Like, yeah, that's my name right there.
But I always wanted that arch. Somebody's gonna steal this. Now somebody hear this.
You watch.
You're gonna see somebody do the.
Everybody gonna have the arches because you started it.
Do you think your parents lived the American dream? Did they achieve the American dream?
1,000%. And you know what's fascinating, bro? Well, again, as of late, a lot of real conversations have been had with me. I didn't fully understand the concept of the American dream until I was in Nigeria last year. I'm in Nigeria last year, and I'm talking to my brother-in-law's brother. And we're just sitting out there. He's, drinking a bottle of Heineken, whatever he is. And I'm rapping with him. And I said, bro, talk to me about, like, this American dream that you speak of, right? And he said, understand, in America, what you achieved, you couldn't have achieved in Nigeria. I said, why you say that? He said, how'd you come to fame? Sports. He said, say you were elite in sports. Where would that go in Nigeria? Right. He said the federations, the athletic federations, he's like, why do you think everybody goes and plays and you watch the World Cup and you see Chukwuemeka playing for France and Spain, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see Ajayi playing for Sweden. And I was like, wait, how'd that happen, right? If you were an elite athlete in Nigeria, what happens? How do you amount to anything? I watch so many of the American elite track athletes, they're Nigerian.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Then he said, okay, then how'd you come to fame? He said, your uncomfortable conversations. He said, you sat in a room and you created a show. And from that show, Oprah Winfrey calls you. And from Oprah Winfrey calls you, you write all these books, et cetera. He said, you do that in Nigeria, what happens? You sit in a room and you create a show. He's like, it doesn't go anywhere. He said, in Nigeria, there is no engine behind you. He said, but in America, truly, if you're talented, if you work hard, it will find you. And it really hit me because I was like, dang, like, you're right. If I was in Nigeria, man, I would have been a businessman, but like, ain't no league we going to. Right. We're not. If we want to go to the league, we better switch countries. Yeah. Not even switch sports. We better switch countries. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to make it as an entrepreneur, like, you better come to America. You know what I mean? If you want to make it as an entrepreneur, like, you better... there truly is an American dream where, like, if you are talented, hardworking, intelligent, and obviously you need some breaks. Obviously you need some breaks. Like, it'll find you. And I was like, dang, like, yeah, I was like, that's real.
I remember your parents were given that opportunity. They were able to come here to do that, to make the most of it. Do you think, like, and I mean, this is a conversation with all of us, like, could Nigeria get that infrastructure? It's a country with a population of almost 240 million. Man. Like some of the craziest resources that
40% are like 19 years old. Like the youth is huge.
The youth is massive.
Massive. Yeah.
You talk about natural gas. You talk about oil. You talk about gold. I mean, you talk about all this stuff. The natural resources just in abundance. Do you think there could ever be a time where Nigeria does have that type of infrastructure to where it can go, you know what? We can put an engine, as you said, behind the podcaster, behind the athlete, behind the businessman, and so on.
No time soon. Yeah. I think it could happen. I mean, we've seen a lot develop as of late, right? There didn't used to be fast food in Nigeria when I used to go back 20 years ago. Right. Now you got KFC. Now you got Pizza Hut. Now you got Debonairs, different places. Like, I remember when they opened up the mall in Nigeria, ShopRite. Like, I remember that. So seeing Uber, seeing a lot of Western world things come to Nigeria, I'm like, okay, it gives me hope. But as long as the government is so rigged, and as long as I don't know that the infrastructure would be there. Furthermore, now, okay, the burden is on us. It's on first gens, if you will, because why would we go fight this Nigerian fight when we could use that same energy in America and have exponentially more success? I think about it athletically, right? My friends who run track, one of my best friends, a track runner, and she could have run for Nigeria, but why would I go run for Nigeria when I'm not going to be able to get sponsorship, I'm not going to be able to get equipment, I'm not going to be able to have a training facility, I'm not going to be able to get my flights paid for? Why would I go do that when I could run for America? I don't know if y'all saw, there was one track athlete in Nigeria this year at the Olympics. Because Nigeria didn't drug test her on time, she couldn't go to the Olympics because the federation failed her. Yeah. So now imagine you wait 4 years and your federation, because they don't go through the standards of the adequate drug testing, you can't compete. Yeah. So why would I give all my energy to Nigeria and all that when America would give me back more in return? So I think, to me, that's the dilemma. Yeah. That's the dilemma, is like us escaping to find more success. Now what do we do once we found it? Do we go back, and how do we go back?
My cousin Adeswa, she's a filmmaker in Nigeria. She just did a nice little documentary on the Nigerian women's basketball team. She's trying to get funding for this. And I was looking, I said, damn, and I didn't realize. There's a Nigerian women's basketball team. And then she interviews the girls going, the government, they don't give us money. And I think they got funding from different people to help them out, just to get uniforms, to get simple ass shit. I even said it above before, I said, Pablo Escobar, one of the most notorious drug dealers in Colombia, funded his soccer team. He goes, I know I'm a drug dealer, but our soccer team's gonna be good. I'm gonna fix the infrastructure. And Nigerians, the government in Nigeria, man, I talked to a couple guys that are like engineers, software engineers. I say, and there's a lot of people doing well in Nigeria, which is crazy. I was going to some fly ass parties.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and this dude, he's hilarious dude. He goes, I go, so how do you guys work under this government? He goes, we don't think about them. We work under them. We just do what we do. So there's like subcultures of people just doing their own shit. The government. It's like a rebellion. It's weird. It's like levels of different type of business. They're governing themselves. So yeah, it's wild shit, man.
I find you to be very, very thoughtful, very, very cerebral, very intellectual. Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that your father was a therapist? And what was that growing up with a Nigerian therapist in the household? I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine the type of questioning you got. You probably got another, like there's the standard Nigerian questioning when you get in trouble.
And then there's psychoanalysis.
Nigerian psychoanalysis.
The hard part for me was like what my dad was asking, he was never actually asking. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm asking you, how was your day? It's not because I necessarily care how your day was. I'm asking you, A, to really figure out the answer to C. And so we're always this chess match of like, why are you asking me what you're asking? Because it's not as direct as you're asking it.
Right.
It's like, that was a hard part. I was always feeling like my mind was being read. It was.
So give me an example. You did something, you got in trouble. You don't have to put all your business out there, but you got in trouble, you did something, you threw some tomatoes at the kids, took somebody's lunch, and what would your dad do? Like, give me a typical incident that happened where your dad like really freaked you out, like psychologically.
I think every conversation now, and maybe I'm jaded, but like every conversation, even if it was as simple as like, so you going to church tomorrow? And it's like, just waiting to see what are you going to respond so I can see how I'm going to. It's nothing straightforward.
It was loaded.
Everything was loaded. But I also say like, my dad wasn't my friend. He was my dad.
They always said,
talk about it. Am I your mate?
I'm not your mate.
Am I your mate?
I'm not.
Did you get that too? Am I your mate?
But I think that's a good thing though, because when I look at you see some parenting in other cultures, and some kids are talking to their parents like they're their equals, and then you go, that's why they don't respect you. They're talking to you crazy, saying, "You dad." I've seen these kids. I go, cause you call him by his first name. What you talking about? I totally understand why my father. I'm not your mates.
And I get that.
I get that. Rank and file, god dang it. We need to keep that. That's something we gotta keep.
That's something, I'm not gonna lie, because from the American culture of trying to be nice with your kids, raising my kids, like I go in between. I'm kind of a tweener, like, because then they get a little too playful, and then you gotta check them, right? You gotta check them right away before it gets to the next level. But there was part of me that go, oh, okay, like my dad wasn't playful. He was like, but I have a ton of respect. And I start to just have this thought just recently, like maybe the reason why I hold my father at the highest level. I mean, you listen to me for a bunch of, you're gonna say, dang, you always talk about your dad, because I hold him at the highest standard because of the way he raised all of us. But also too, he didn't have time for the foolishness and the whatever, because now it's like, I live with this guilt, like, well, if you don't play with your kids, you're not a good father. And if you're not doing this thing, my dad didn't take us on camping trips and all this other stuff. But
he got you here.
Yes.
And that to me is what is most important. Is like, your dad got you here. Mine got me here. He got you there. We don't ha-ha and kiki. You know what I'm saying? We might not necessarily like debate who's better, Jordan or LeBron, but like he got me here. And I think there's a value to that, because sometimes I see my parents who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with my mom, go hang out with my dad, we're gonna go watch a movie. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that.
No.
But I got this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, and all things considered, man, bro, when you really take a step back and think about what our parents had to do to get us here,
it's like,
just get me
don't
here.
complain about them not taking you to camp. Now, Rachel, we went to camp, but my mother was an activities lady. But they would schedule us to go to camp for 2 weeks and, you know, put us in baseball and playing piano. My sister was piano. But they did activities for us, but they were working. Yeah. But they made sure, you know, we're gonna register you for this, register you for that. So you have something to do all the time. We always were doing something. Summertime, you know, it would be like, you can play outside, but then you have camp, boom, you Little League, boom, you this, that. But it was always something to keep your mind going, you know?
I agree, because, and I agree with what you're saying too, because I really do think that our parents who came here, what they had to go through was a lot harder than what we've had to go through. And that's not to minimize what we've accomplished, what we've done. But when I think about like, and it's crazy because I'm thinking my dad came in 74. Well, Martin Luther King was assassinated when? In
68.
April of 1968. Like, I'm just thinking like, that just happened.
And mine were a little before yours.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was like 69, 60, 70.
Yeah, my mom came in 69,
Like just
truly imagine.
By Biafra War, and they were trying to kill my parents until my father changed the last name, because I'm Chima, really. But it's Dan Chima is my name now. But my father did that just on a genius move. No, we changed the name. Dan Chima. So it does, because they were trying to kill Igbos and Biafra. When you get to explain, like you said, when they get older, they want to tell you everything. That's why I was getting all the shit laid out. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's because they wouldn't say anything before. Because when I asked my father, because, you know, kids used to be like, how old's your dad? How old's your dad? And then one day I asked my dad, I go, hey, Dad, how old are you? My father, you don't ask me my age. I'm 100. Tell your friends. And I would go and tell my friends, my dad's 100. I'm fine. I'm not. I can't. Why were they so? My brother, my dad's 100. No, well, your dad's not 100. He told me he's 100. I win. And then when my father passed, my father passed. But I remember at the little funeral, they were like, nobody knew his age. No one knew my dad's age. Was he 80-something? We don't know. We never told us. So my father told no one. I was laughing.
At least he was consistent.
I wanted to go 100.
100. He just stayed 100.
I know the age.
Yeah, I know the age. He told me.
My father never had a birthday.
Yeah. Oh, man. We know Dr. Phil, and he's really popular amongst all the celebrities. Is it true that your dad was also a therapist for Kirk Franklin?
Yeah, he's still Kirk's therapist.
Get out of here.
Is that right?
No.
Yeah.
Get out of here. You know, I know Kurt. Kurt's cool, and I love Kurt. And I love when Kurt messes up. I love when he's dancing with tight pants. I love when he goes, and then he'll go in the camera and say,
the video.
I think you all understand what has happened to me. I'm a godly man. The other day I was wearing tight pants and everybody got on me. I'm not perfect. But what I want you to know is those tight pants, I bought another pair.
And I watch all those videos too. And I don't know, every time he has an announcement, it was like,
he's Kurt. I loved Kurt.
He'll start eating the apple too.
Dude, the apple thing, I was gonna make fun of that. I was gonna get him. He's like, you know, God. I told you about that. I was gonna eat his ass up because that apple, I don't know why he keeps eating this apple. Kurt is, I love Kurt Franklin.
Well, we all do.
He makes gospel fun.
Yeah.
He makes it
energetic.
What's wrong with being a little sexy? What's wrong with that? It's not to me.
You know,
it's not.
Kirk's come to Nigeria with Pops before. Yeah,
does he?
We've taken the Kirk.
Like?
We've taken Kirk to
Did
Nigeria.
you grow up with?
Yeah, so Kirk.
You call him Uncle Kirk?
What do you
Kirk's
call
my
him?
dog.
Yeah.
Kirk's
Are you Captain Kirk?
Since I was a kid. But the reason I share it, because Kirk shares it all the time. Kirk will often share my dad's as therapist. Man, we all went to the same church. So we all went to Oak Cliff in Dallas. My dad was the therapist at the church. At the time, massive Black population. And so because of that, if you need counseling and you at that church, oh, Dr. Acho, he's a therapist. That's how Kirk and my dad got connected.
That's crazy.
Probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because they
Wow.
went to Nigeria in the early 2000s. Yeah. Yeah, I knew Kirk before his youngest son was born. I remember when his youngest was born.
Wow,
So like,
that's kinda cool.
we've known Kirk. Yeah, Kirk, that's like family.
That connection, like, what?
That was never in one of those. You know how they do those highlight packages in the NFL? You know, the tackle?
And you and Kirk
that
Franklin
never
like-
popped up. That never
Kirk
popped up.
Franklin, you and Acho and Kirk Franklin like,
No, like it is cool though, cause like having those advisors and those friends and those confidants and those people you can just call, like just calling Kirk. And I think Kirk is one of, if not the most talented people that exists,
Yeah.
right?
fantastic.
Because he lives in the gospel sect, so many people only know Kirk in the gospel sect.
Yeah.
But when you think about like, bro, we grew up on all these different gospel artists, but Kirk is the one that's still relevant.
He
So
sure is.
trying to figure out like what he's had to do this and that to stay relevant, how hard you have to work to stay relevant. Because we grew up on all of them. I won't say their names just to like disparage them.
Yeah,
if you
but
will,
it's
like,
facts,
But
though.
Kirk is the one that's still doing
all that stuff that Kirk does, I go, it's genius to me. When he's like, look, what is Kirk doing?
Yeah.
I go, but he's all over the place and he's making it fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what I
And
mean?
how old is Kirk? Because he got all the like the up to
53, I
date.
think.
He got
how old?
boy face.
53, I think.
53, and he's got all the new dances down. like I can't move like
he's in
that.
shape.
He look good.
Yeah, hey, he cut up here.
Kirk, and Kirk's like, God gave me the strength to show my muscles off. These are muscles of God. And one of my first gigs in Chicago coming up, I'm a little older than you guys. I had to do the.
Don't sniff when you say you older than us.
Yeah.
You just kind of sunned us. Like, I'm a little older than y'all.
older than y'all.
Don't sun us.
Yo, man, relax, man. That's what old motherfuckers do.
Yeah, the sniff, like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, hold on, let me get my little drink. So I had one of my first gigs was being an audience coordinator for the Gospel Awards, the 9th annual Stellar Awards. So I'm back there, you know, this distinguished tall black man's like, okay, this is your job. You're gonna stay right there, and when we call you out, you know, you're gonna talk to the people, and you go back in and out, whatever. I'm standing, you know, in backstage. And Anne-Marie Horsford from Amen, Anne-Marie Horsford.
yeah, sure.
She's the nicest lady, boy. Nia Long was mean as shit to me. I remember that. I will never forget that shit. I'm sorry, I'm not knocking her now. I don't know how she is now.
She might call you.
She was a little mean now. She was mean to me because it was weird. But I saw Uncle Phil, James Avery was back there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. It was the Gospel Awards. So Jesse Jackson, everybody was there. And Kirk Franklin, I never met him, but he did That's the Reason Why I Sing Glory, Hallelujah. He destroyed that. I was like, yo, and he was so cool. I was like, yo.
I don't know if you can describe a gospel song.
I was just thinking.
He destroyed.
I don't know if like
No, because
I don't know if
you know
could,
why
like,
his
he
stuff.
No,
Because
you said destroyed that.
he destroyed it, like destroyed the like he rocked. Because I'm such a comic, ripped that. And listen, hold on. Sorry, Lord, but you know, it meant good. Where's my apple?
Oh no, I think Eve messed that up.
Yeah, he made that one, right?
Don't do
But see, that song stayed in my head for weeks. It was so good because I'm seeing it live, and I never seen that style of that call and response. Glory, hallelujah. We praise our sins to you. And everybody else was singing. Shirley said, I'm Clark said, I'm watching all the legends, Ricky Dillon, Mississippi Mass Choir, and he was different. He was going, glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Sing our praises to you. I was like, this is fire. Yeah, so that's my connection with Kirk. And then when I would see him in the airport, he'd go, what's up, brother? Like, fantastic.
Did you ever come to any of your games, your NFL games?
No, he would come to our church anniversaries often.
Okay.
So like whenever we have like a significant church anniversary, to this day still in Dallas, Kirk will come, but he wouldn't really come to our league games. I think he came to a high school game once.
Okay.
Because his daughter went to it's like a sister school, private school.
What was your position?
In Dallas, linebacker, inside backer.
Yeah, D-line.
D-line?
Yeah, you can tell by look at his neck.
No. I see his little.
Yeah, you see his
But it's shrinking for the,
It is.
for the news. He got the news neck now.
If you ever want to tell
Acho.
If you ever want to tell like the position, you look at the neck,
No, that's
and then you
true.
look at the swag. So like he dresses like a linebacker. Like my clothes are a little baggier, so I'm a linebacker.
you got
but
that.
when they fit it like that, they
Are you
think
middle
they sexy.
middle linebacker? Oh yeah, I see. He middle linebacker. He going, yeah. Oh, you know what? It's me, baby, all day. Yeah. He like the Ray Lewis.
You and I have something very, very similar with our path because you went to the same high school as your brother. You and your brother went to the same high school, went to the same college, and then go on to the NFL. And like we kind of have that same. Both our brothers played 9 years or so in the league.
That's amazing.
You know, having that. What was that like for you? Like having to come after your brother. What was the pressure like? How did he help you on your journey? You know, what did you learn?
It was interesting because I was always better than my brother at football, like until we got to the league. Like, because I'm just meaner than he is. You said, my brother always smiley. He's like, who that one of your thing guys? Like, my brother's always smiley. I was always meaner than he was. High school, I was probably better than him. Get to college, it was as if I was better than him. Then by the time he gets drafted, he goes in the 4th round. I tear my quad at the NFL Combine. I'm running a 40-yard dash. It's a true story. I'm running it. I hear boom, 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 boom. I think my heels are clicking, so I keep running. Boom, boom, boom. It was my quad being ripped off the bone.
Oh my God.
Yo, you got to be kidding me.
So
right
I
now.
clutch my quad, I fall to the ground. The trainer's like, hey, can you walk? They carry me off the joint. I get drafted in the 6th round. My whole rookie year, torn quad, I struggled. Played the Packers my second preseason game. Outside zone, so I'm shuffling to play the stretch. Boom, cut, tear my MCL completely.
Damn.
So now I'm just injured. And my brother never really got hurt.
Yeah.
So it was weird going from like being the supposed better football player to all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. He better than me. Like, when did this happen? But then it switches because I leave football after 4 years. 4 years in the NFL, vested pension annuity. You know it. You got all the benefits.
I made it just then. I just got.
So you get benefits for life?
4 years. Once
After
you're
4 years.
Yep.
4 years
that's
in.
awesome. That's
so
good.
as soon as I got 4, I got out.
Yeah.
Now I'm in TV. Next thing you know, I'm in TV and I'm balling. And so once I get to TV and I get to the other side, I'm like, I just can't wait for my brother to come to this side. Because I'm like, yo, this side is better than that side.
Yeah.
And you're so smart. You still playing ball, but like, bruh, you could do so much more here. And he gets into TV. But I'm kind of like the kingpin at that point. I already got a Emmy Award, maybe 2 by the time he's even retiring.
Yeah.
So then it was cool because now I can help advise him. When going into football, he always advised me. You know what I'm saying? It's like it kind of inverted. But we got a great relationship.
Our relationship, my relationship is a lot different because my brother was always good and he will always hold that over me no matter what. He was faster, he was stronger. Like the only thing I can hold on my brother is my height. Like, well, I'm 6'6", though. I'm 6'6" and I weigh more. They never told me I was.
I'll beat your ass.
But you know, it was cool because I had a chance to watch him and he would always mentor me through the process. I even remember too, like, you know, I was playing the Monday night game and he called me afterwards like, man, you look like you're thinking too much. You know, so he was always there to give me those points that you needed somebody to give you that you might not have gotten from maybe one of your fellow linemen or teammates because they were maybe threatened by the position. So it was cool to learn from that setting because I was late to football. I came in after starting my senior year in high school because I started playing basketball.
For real?
Basketball was I was going to go to the NBA. That was my.
Why didn't you play basketball in college?
Because, funny story. I didn't play basketball in college. I was tricked. So it was between San Diego State and Cal Berkeley. And Cal at the time, Hugh Jackson was recruiting me out of Cal. And he puts me on the call with Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, yeah, you can play basketball here and play football. They let me play football and basketball. Cool. I'm like, oh, damn, that's cool. But I didn't know that was Tony Gonzalez at the time.
Right.
So I get to San Diego State, comes to the house, and I tell them, yeah, I want to play football and basketball. Yeah. So remember, I only played 1 year of high school football. So after my first spring, my coach Toner, he goes, just give us 1 season where we can develop you. And then during the spring, you can go out and you can go do basketball. So after spring ball, I'm like, all right, here it is. Let me just remind Coach. I go to Coach Toner, and this was inside. So the coach's locker room was inside of our locker room. So you had to go through our locker room to get to the locker room. And I knock on the coach's door like an idiot. all my teammates are right there. Like, why is Akbar knocking on the coach's door? Hey, coach, you remember you said when I got recruited that I could play basketball.
Go ahead.
I could play basketball. He looked at me up and down, goes, I'm still waiting for you to become a football player. Boom, slammed the door right in my face. And you know this that silent pause, and then you turn around. Oh my boy, they tore me up, and that was it. That was the end of it. Steve Fisher, shout out to Steve Fisher though, because Steve Fisher, when he came to San Diego State, he knew how much I love basketball. So my claim of fame is I had an opportunity to scrimmage with the basketball team when Chris Webber came into town when he first took his job at San Diego State. So I'm like, yeah, even though Chris Webber just going sideline to sideline, he never got in with us. He's like, because he was still in the league. But it was.
Were you better at basketball than football?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, in my mind, I was. So then I turned out to be a better football player than I was a basketball. But to me, it was so personal.
Like you wouldn't have made it to the league.
No, I wouldn't have made it. Because I was a center. I was a center.
I was a wide receiver, right? I only played 1 year in high school, senior year, for shits and giggles.
Really?
I did, because I was track and field, baseball, and I was like, oh. And the coach was like, you should play football. And I wasn't even lifting weights at that point. I was like 15 or whatever. And I was like, oh, do I gotta lift weights and stuff? They're like, yeah, you gotta lift weights. I was like, I'm not lifting no weights, fuck that, right? So I go to practice, the tryouts and shit. I'm there. And I could run pretty good. I'm pretty fast and shit. Catching the rock. Yeah, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They call me Quick Six, nigga. Quick Six. I'd be like, yeah,
Quick Six, okay.
Yeah. So then they were like, one day we were at some practice and I was skipping the weight room. I wouldn't really do much. Yeah. And then I ran this up the middle route.
Oh, okay.
Sure did. And this guy, I will never forget him, Todd Schwager, linebacker. Bad motherfucker, white boy. He was bad dude, middle linebacker. And I ran, and I still stopped, coming to the middle. And then Todd was like, yeah, welcome, man. Me up. He goes, better get to the weight room.
That was your hello.
I was like, man, I'm there like, fuck you. Like, you'll never do it to me again. Oh, yeah.
Why did you turn German?
I had to turn it to Schwarzenegger. I can't believe it. He got me. I was like, and then after he hit me, it was like you needed that cushion. Like I understood weight training.
Yeah.
Todd smacked, man. He hit me, boy, and he knew that I wasn't going to the weight room.
Yeah.
And he waited for that.
High school football in Chicago had to have been crazy.
Yeah.
High school football in LA was cool.
Yeah.
What was high school football like in Texas?
In Texas, that's religion. Was it Friday Night Lights?
Friday night.
Was it really like that?
It was, it's twofold though, right? Because I went to private school.
Yeah.
And my sister went to public school. So I would go to her stadium like at Richardson, and it's 15,000, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mine was private school, right? But the crazy thing is, we put like 3 people in the league, my brother, myself, and a dude, Ty Montgomery, after me.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because like I had Friday Night Lights, but like when we would scrimmage Highland Park 7-on-7, where Stafford went to school, Matthew Stafford, where Clayton Kershaw went to school, that's when you saw like, oh, like this is real, like people live and die.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah.
Like live and die.
That movie was pretty accurate, wasn't it? The intensity.
To a degree. Like Friday Night Lights, like to a degree, like they don't play about football.
That's Odessa, no?
Yeah. Odessa, Permian, and Midland. And, and they're in East Texas, they really don't play because it's just football there. Yeah. I'm in the city. You feel me? It's hey, you still got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
East Texas,
like, oh, the dogs.
That's
dogs. Wow.
It's not
really bred different. Like that's where Adrian Peterson and them from. Like they bred different. Like, it's not a game out there.
So you asked me, was I better in basketball or football? You ran track, played basketball. I know I'm better than you in basketball.
Where'd you play?
You ran
small
track.
forward. Small forward.
So which one of those do you feel like
I was probably best in track.
At track?
Yeah, I threw discus. I was really good in disc.
He's old. That's a linebacker. That's
that. Did you
But
do
the
this?
thing about disc is like, you know that thing where like, what I loved about disc though, bruh, is like I would see the overly swole dudes. 'Cause I was long and lean. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't strong in high school. I was strong, but I was lean. But disc is all technique.
Yeah.
And truly, track is my first love. Football is not my first love. Basketball is not my first love. Track is my first love.
Yeah.
Track is objective. I love it. Football, was it Belichick? Was it Brady? Basketball, was it Jordan? Was it Phil? Track, I'm faster than you. I jump higher than you.
That's it.
I throw further than you. There is no debate who's greater, LeBron or Mike. Yeah, he got 6 chips, but he been to 10.
Right.
No, basketball is just
track
that's
doesn't have
true.
nothing
That
to do with
track
the
is just I'm
coach.
better.
So track doesn't have really anything to do with the coach. Is it pretty much some?
We
technique
don't really
that's more
talk. We
natural?
never talk about the coach.
We really don't.
Coaches matter, right?
True,
Alex
but
and Felix,
you're right.
Bobby Kersey.
Because
it's so individual.
Yeah, because I mean, like we know the names of the coaches, but when we think about Usain Bolt and
It's
you know,
Usain Bolt.
it's Usain Bolt, but his journey started off rough.
He was getting his ass whooped.
But no one talks about the coach that helped him perfect his
correct.
craft.
They
So
don't.
you're right. Yeah, it
you're
is
right.
true.
And there's never like, was it Usain or was it Gatlin? We can just look at times. How fast
right.
did you run? How fast did you run? In other sports, it gets so muddied. So
that's true.
I would have suggested track was I was best at, but I had to make a decision. I think we all do. And this is where, honestly, by the grace of God, I was a junior in high school. And I was like, all right, Acho, you playing defensive end, but you're 6'1.5", 180, 178.
So go ahead.
You not finna make nobody's college playing defensive end. Get your hand out the dirt, move to linebacker. Because now you're a prototype linebacker. You're an undersized defensive end.
You
at
made this
6'1.5".
decision.
You made that decision. I learned how to play football watching Ray Lewis clips on YouTube.
Ray Lewis.
Like I was watching Ray Lewis and Derek Johnson clips on YouTube.
Ray Lewis.
Because my parents ain't know nothing about no football.
Right.
So I would YouTube watch Ray and I'm like, okay, he did this, he did that, he did this. All right, bet he made the tackle like that. All right, bet. Go do the same thing. So that's kind of how I mastered. Same thing like I play the piano just off watching stuff. Like I'll just watch, but just only off watching.
Yeah, and I can't stand him too.
Are you real dope?
Because he gets on Instagram and he'll just walk by a piano and go, what's this
I hate
thing
that.
here?
Ugh.
Like,
You make my ass itch.
He always flips it up like, I don't know what to do with this thing. And then turns into the Nigerian John Legend. So married. I was like, God,
You do it like that? You do shit like that?
yeah, he does. And I
My
can't stand
Sherry.
man. Yes, that is him.
La la la.
I hate you. You talented.
You talented bastard, you. That's awesome. Just
Just by ears or by looking.
So
like by
Ray
watching.
Lewis and then piano, you just found random people on YouTube or you looked up?
Whatever, if I wanted to, if a song was popping at the time, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I want to play that. And I would just commit to playing it. But my thing is like, I didn't really go out like that. So my time is spent, even to this day, like first purchase when I bought my crib, piano.
That's a beautiful piano. I done been to the crib.
Been to the crib.
But he got one of them grand pianos. You know them rich people pianos?
Is it like, was it?
The one that stay open?
What's the famous Steinway? You got the
Yeah,
Steinway?
yeah.
That's the
It's the Steinway. Yeah, you got the
Son of a.
Yeah.
You got one of those?
Yeah.
My first purchase, bro.
It was like, it's like one of the stand-up ones. I was like,
I gotta
dang.
see your guys' crib. I'm in New York.
Hey, when you come by the house, I got a wall one that stands like a wall stand-up one.
Yeah.
Because I seen yours, I was like, dang.
Well, you got a Casio.
I said, well, I'm gonna get a stand-up one that goes up against the wall, but I don't know how to play.
You got the.
Yeah, he got that nice
in the middle of the
glossy, and you can walk around it.
You can walk.
You can walk around it
Like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So like I teach myself a lot.
Yeah.
So like football,
Well, that's great.
it was self-taught.
Yeah.
Because my brother played way after me.
Yeah.
I played like 2-3 years before him. So it wasn't like, I want to be like him. It was like, nah, I want to bet Christian Okoye.
Yeah.
You know what I
Christian
mean?
Okoye.
Like the Nigerian Nightmare. Like
Yeah.
that. That's also why I love like the representation we have in life right now. Because I'm sure somebody somewhere might be looking up to one of us and be like, yo, that's the reason I want to do or be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that? Because he had the coldest, Christian Okoye had the coldest name. And since there has never been another Nigerian nickname that is taken. Maybe I will say my brother rivals it with KGB because of the double entendre, but really the Nigerian nightmare.
In sports is
Any Nigerian, like name another Nigerian nickname.
Oh, yeah.
There was never. The Nigerian nightmare was the perfect
Yeah,
like
the
it was the
And so much so that
liberation.
when we have another Nigerian dude like Kamaru Usman, he'll just get the Nigerian nightmare.
right?
Yeah.
You're like,
He follows everyone. Yeah, he's the
He got
Nigerian.
everyone's a nightmare. Why are we all nightmares?
No, it's a beautiful name.
It's good, but damn.
No, it's a
nightmare
good one.
too? I'm a nightmare for you, everybody that's Nigerian. He's a night. What the?
It can be that.
But there was a guy, boxer John the Beast Mugabe, but he was African, but he was old school boxer. These guys fought like during the Larry Holmes time, but I don't know what part of Africa he was, but he was just a John the Beast Mugabe.
Yeah.
He was knocking motherfuckers out. But I knew he was African because of Mugabe.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody else was Norton, Williams, Holmes, and then Mugabe.
Yeah, right.
It's just some African dude just,
Let's talk about Nigerian food. Like, what are some of your favorites? What did you grow up with?
I grew up with egusi. Yeah,
Number
grew
one.
up with
Number
egusi.
one.
My favorite now, though, I Americanized my Nigerian food. Give me the jollof rice. Give me the egusi without the fufu.
eba or the
And
eba.
let me just put the efo because I mess with the efo. Give me the egusi. Give me the jollof, and then I'm.
Whoa, hold on. We got a problem.
What's up, G?
Because you kind of dismiss the inyon, the fufu. Like,
I don't need the extra calories. I don't-
oh,
He's trying to
this
keep
one
his-
wants to be Mr. Sexy.
Well, how's he gonna take photos by the grand piano?
Exactly.
What if he's on top of it like this?
And now.
And he got fufu belly.
Now you figured it out.
But you know,
Hey, he's trying to keep it sexy, bro.
you don't have because you know when you get older, you know you get the gold watch, you get the extra keys, and you get the pounded yam got.
No, you don't. He's like, he got
Bruh.
he got the chest open. It would look weird with
I did have
Nigerian
chest open. No, I can't. What I can't do, and to your point, I don't do pounded yam no more.
Really?
Cause give me the plant for breakfast, bro. Give me the plantain with the corned beef stew.
Ooh,
I like
Changed
that.
my life.
Okay.
Like if I get that every.
So you put like a little, you made your own, like as long as you got the macronutrients,
that-
right? Yeah.
What about gari?
Gari?
Gari,
Bro, I ain't had gari in so long.
But gari is you can either eat it as a
The
cold
cereal?
thing,
Yeah.
cereal,
Water?
but it's cassava. It's lightweight, and I like to heat it up and use it to dip it in the egusi. That's gari and egusi. Yo, get out my way.
You know, it's
Me
crazy
and that.
because I seen Layla Ali, actually, she was promoting cassava flour, and it's supposed to be this healthy alternative.
Oh, that's so
flour.
old school.
I was like, man, we grew up on cassava.
They
I was
so
like, they
late.
call it cassava flour, and it just sounded so great, but for us, it was just gari.
It's cassava. My mom's like, that's cassava.
Cassava, yeah.
It's so-
I have never even seen a cassava. If you put a cassava in front
I
of me,
would know what it was.
I don't know
I
what
wouldn't know what it was.
Is that gari? It has to be gari.
Yeah, but what is a whole cassava look like?
I have no
I don't even
idea.
know what that. Does it grow from a tree? Does it go from the
We don't
ground?
know.
You know what I wish I had more of those meat pies and puff puffs.
Oh yeah.
We had somebody that didn't like puff puffs, and we almost kicked them off the show.
Yeah. Chine is a comedian.
Chinedu is a
and we
comedian.
both.
Chinedu
He
is
says we don't
knockout.
eat puff.
He's like, man, I don't eat puff. We was like,
I beg you.
now.
I just slapped you now.
I will just slap your face.
All right, culture. You grew up. You grew up in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You went to an all-white private school. What was that like? And did you ever feel or hear from your classmates about you being black, about you being Nigerian? Yeah. And I ask this because my kids, they go to a predominantly white school. Mm-hmm. And I heard this actually somebody on Instagram talking about this, saying, hey, if you have black kids who are in an all-white school, that somebody needs to go in and do like a mental health check on them. And I thought about that, and just even privately, just sharing, my kids have struggled with that where, with their identity, with the shade of their colors, because they're constantly being harassed and constantly being teased, little jokes here and there, that microaggression, and it's like, where do you go? And they don't want to
come to the school? Do you ever come?
I let them
just to see your ass come to the school.
But because
into the principal's office.
No, because of all the laws, I can't do anything.
You can't whoop nobody.
It's just really. It's with the principal, and so the principal. We just didn't know that this was happening. We're so shocked. This has never happened before. So you go through all that, but meanwhile, the kids, their biggest struggle is if they advocate for themselves in a way, because I'm always constantly saying, hey, you got to stand up for yourself. You guys, and I realize it's 15 to 1,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not that many, so they don't want to be othered. Did you struggle with that in your environment, or what was that like for you growing up in that environment?
Very much so. But in the private school environment, bruh, it was hard because we had like 5 black kids in my graduating class, maybe. But the good thing out of only like 75.
Okay.
Right? But then like the good thing was I got culture elsewhere. I wasn't getting it in school. Like, thankfully, I got it in the little Nigeria every Saturday. We have the little Bible study groups. Church every Sunday, got it there. Because growing up in like the all-white school, I just didn't fit in.
Yeah.
You know, they go into the Mavericks games, you know, their dad's the president or the CEO of the Mavericks, and the other one's dad, you know, is running for mayor, and I'm just, who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was hard, but I do think it was the best thing for me was realizing, oh, I can be comfortable around white people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the strength now as an adult. Like, oh, I can be comfortable around white people, or I can be comfortable in the hood, or I can be comfortable in African settings. Like, I can just be comfortable and not feel no lesser than.
Yeah, and it's allowed you now to move into different space, because I want to talk about like life after football, because for you started yours off at ESPN, right? What was that like, starting off at the big 4-letter network? I mean, because for a lot of athletes who aspire to be in your position, ESPN was the mark. Like, you made it to ESPN, like you go into the league as a 6th round draft pick. There are not many, if any, who are 6th rounders jumping straight from the league straight to ESPN. That's extremely difficult to do.
Bro, you know what I take pride in, and maybe you're the same. I take so much pride in the fact that I wasn't elite in the NFL.
How so?
If you're on TV as a sports analyst, you either were an elite NFL player or a good-looking person. Right. You were either an elite NFL player, good-looking, or a quarterback. So I'm like, or you're talented. You feel me? And it's like, nah, I'm not here because I'm an elite NFL player. I'm just here because I'm good. You feel me? Like, say what you will, at the end of I ain't got no Super Bowls, I ain't got no Hall of Fames, I ain't got no Ring of Honors. I'm just good. And so, but the other thing is, and I think I've had to learn this, is like the truth of it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. When I left the NFL, I went to Austin and I emailed every news director in Austin. True story. I said, hey, just retired from the NFL. Austin was where I went to college. Hey, would love to come on your programs on Sunday after Texas games on Saturday and just do something. Do something on TV. One network bit, Fox 7 Austin. So my first 2 years out the league, I was doing something every Monday called Mondays with Manny, Mondays with Emmanuel Acho on Fox 7 Austin. I was going to the Cowboys facility and I was doing a show on social media for the Cowboys. First 2 years. ESPN picks me up after those 2 years. Then after 2 years with ESPN, then I get my own show, you know, leading with Fox. So it was like that mindset of like, I'm just going to grind.
Were you aiming for ESPN?
Aiming for greatness. Even now, man, I'm aiming for greatness. Like, you know me, I think I've told you this. I'm trying to get an EGOT. You know what I mean? I'm not, there's no aim. I'm just trying to be the greatest. See yourself.
You see me drop them chin-chins?
Just dropping chin-chins. Left and right. No, bro, now, bro, honestly, I'm aiming for greatness. I'm not even worried about, I'm just worried about being like great.
I want to talk to, you know, for the people who are just now getting to know you. You came onto the scene heavy during the pandemic. And it all started with the uncomfortable conversation with a black man. You get a phone call from Oprah afterwards, but we'll talk about that. But how did that start for you? What inspired you to do it? I know you've talked about it a lot, but like, were you nervous in that moment when the climate was so high, eyeballs were like, and there was this insatiable appetite to resolve a lot of the unjust that was happening in the black community? Like, what moved you in that direction?
That's good.
And then you were talking to the cops.
It was not at the time. We'll get there.
With the police.
So as soon as George Floyd is murdered, I'm like righteously angry. I'm like walking around my house like I'm mad. Like how? Like what in the world? And we all saw it and I'm upset. So true story, I go over to my white friend's house and it's 4 of them, 2 couples. And I sit there and I said, why do black people keep dying at the hands of white people? And they said, well, Emmanuel, you know, what do you think the problem is? And I said, in part, there's just a lack of exposure to white people and black people. I look at them and I say, how many black people were at your wedding? And they start thinking, they were like 3. me, my brother, and one of the people who sang. And I said, that's a part of the problem. I said, y'all are incredible, God-fearing people. We go to church together. I walked your mom down the aisle at your wedding. Like, I know y'all are incredible people, but y'all don't have no black people in your life. And so I said, you know what? I need to do a show where I'm sitting and I'm talking to white people. And I'm going to call it Questions White People Have. Because white people have questions. And so I go back to...
you in this neighborhood?
I go
What's
back...
that noise you make at night?
I go back to my house and I'm like, okay, here's what we finna do. I'm gonna get a bunch of people in a round table, kind of like this, and we finna have this show, Questions White People Have. Problem, it's COVID. You can't meet during COVID with a group of people.
Right.
So I get one dear white friend of mine. She drives from Dallas to Austin, Texas, and we're going back and forth. And she said, Emmanuel, I don't think you should call it Questions White People Have. I said, why not? She said, because it's not just white people that have the questions. You know, it's Indian people, et cetera.
Yeah.
So she said, what do you think about calling it Uncomfortable Conversations? And I'm like, man, I was like, it just doesn't stick. I was like, it's missing something. So I finish a bike ride. I go into my house. In my house in Austin, Texas, I go past a mirror and I look. And I go back past the mirror and I look. And I'm like, wait, you're a black man. Uncomfortable Conversations with a black man. We rehearsed the first episode. She was going to ask me 4 questions. I was going to answer it. Again, true story. But in the first episode, it's just me. Why? Because prior to shooting the first episode, an hour, 4 minutes before the call time, we're supposed to be in studio, I go downstairs and she's like crying. I can't do it. It's not right. I can't do it. They don't want to see me. I said, well, I don't have that luxury. So I go to studio. That's why on the first episode ends up being seen by 25 million people. I'm asking and answering the question. I know a lot of y'all have wondered, why are black people rioting right now? Well, I would suggest that black people are rioting because I was never supposed to ask the question. I was just supposed to answer the question.
Right. Oh, wow.
But it was an uncomfortable monologue with the black man.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable conversations with a black man. But the first episode, I'm sitting by myself. It was divine. 5 days after the first episode, I get a call from a no caller ID number. I pick it up. Hey, Acho, McConaughey speaking.
Oh,
yeah, I want to have a conversation. I was like, McConaughey? Like Matthew McConaughey?
Damn.
My voice starts getting high when I talk to famous people.
Yeah,
McConaughey?
baby.
Like,
Yeah, baby.
He's like, hey, I want to have a conversation. I say, okay. I say, let's do it in a couple days. I'm thinking I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, right? I ain't trying to be nobody's Soldier Boy, right? I one banger. I was like, I'm just not gonna do another episode. Shout out to Soldier Boy though. That one hit was a banger. So I was like, yo, I don't want to be a one-hit wonders. But McConaughey says, let's do it tomorrow. So now I'm like, okay, Academy Award winner wants to record with me tomorrow. What we finna do? Now, at this point in time, my world is changing. Right. I'm getting messages, Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Zoe Saldana, like people just hitting me up, like influx. I called the studio where I shot at, very similar to where we are now. They said, hey, Emmanuel, I'd love to host you. Problem. I said, what do you mean problem? They said the whole studio is painted sky blue. It takes 24 hours to paint and 24 hours to dry. Anybody who's seen Uncomfortable Conversations knows I shoot in an all-white room, in an all-white psych wall. So I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do? Remember, it's COVID. So what's the move? And I'm not a high-level operation. It's me, my best friend who runs track, Olympic gold medalist, and a wedding videographer is my video team, right? It's just us 3. So she says, hey, we're gonna get a white sheet of paper. We're gonna roll it down and we're gonna cheat the camera so it looks like you're in an all-white studio. I don't tell McConaughey this, though. I can't afford for him to back out. McConaughey shows up. He's like, oh, this is interesting. We're all trying to act professional and distinguished. My wedding videographer's trying to act like they know what they're doing. McConaughey and I shoot the episode. 3 days later, I get another call, no caller ID number. Hi, Emmanuel. Oprah Winfrey speaking.
Jesus Christ.
And then she asked me one question I'll never forget. She says, Emmanuel, what is your intention? I said, Oprah, my intention is to change the world. I truly believe I can. I'm currently working on writing a book. She says, books? I love books. Yeah. And so then I became the only person not named Oprah to write more than one book under the Oprah imprint. And so I wrote 3 books under the Oprah imprint. And so Oprah and I became fast friends after that moment. So she partnered to produce Uncomfortable Conversation for what I would suggest was the first season.
Wow.
So that was...
That's an amazing story. I don't know that I knew that full.
Yeah, I never told it in like totality.
Yeah, I never heard it because it was so powerful. I'm sure you get it all the time. Like no one can forget. I think about COVID and I think about the thing that made me not think about.
You hit me up.
Yeah, I did.
You shot me a text.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. You shot me a text and you said, "Thank you for articulating the emotions I felt, but I didn't have the words to say."
Yes, that's right. And I really did, because it's one of those things where I think, there are a couple of ways, and I don't really knock anyone for how they attack a lot of the unjust things that has happened to us as people here in America or abroad in Africa, and the things that continue to happen. But what I loved about what you were able to do, you were able to articulate it in such a way that people could receive it, and people can receive it messages in different way. But what I loved about it is like, it was solution oriented, right? Yeah. It wasn't just steam. There was steam with solution, and it was just going, wow. And you were going places, and I think what made it hit was, people have these conversations all the time. It's always like when I'm privy to listen to other people gossip about other people, like, why are you telling that person that? Why can't you just go tell that person?
Correct.
And you did that thing, the stuff that's like, why are they so mad? And why are they so angry? And why they do this? And why they, and then you just brought it to the forefront. And it was like, holy moly.
How did McConaughey feel after that? How did he feel? Like after you, was it like, did it help him out, or was it more like this, what the hell you talking about?
McConaughey.
Or was like, no,
that's my brother.
Man,
McConaughey, I don't think McConaughey did it for McConaughey. He's never told me this. I think McConaughey did it for everybody else. I think McConaughey realized, what white man in this climate is willing to sit in this space where he can get all the backlash in the world for saying the wrong thing, asking the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. Remember, a lot of pastors got in trouble in that moment. There's a pastor in Atlanta, I won't say his name, y'all can look it up if y'all want to, and he said, slavery was a good thing. And Lecrae got in trouble because Lecrae was sitting on stage with this pastor, and Lecrae didn't instantly correct him. A lot of people were speaking out, and a lot of white people were stepping in it because they just don't know what to say. No fault of their own to some degree. It's this uncomfortable and unfamiliar conversation. I don't think McConaughey did it for McConaughey. If I were to really step back and think about it, I think McConaughey did it for the greater good of the world, and he knows he's McConaughey. That's why I'm forever indebted to him, because if McConaughey doesn't sit with me, I don't know what happens.
You're right.
And so when I wrote my first book, and it's number 3 on the best-selling list, and his book was number 1, and I couldn't even be mad because he had Green Lights, which came out the same week as mine, and I was like, man, without you, McConaughey, I don't know that I'm here.
Yeah, because it to me, in a weird way, you used a person who had such a massive platform, a white man, to be able to then have the conversation. So he says, I'll step in this.
Yes.
I'll step in here and have this conversation. And then what I noticed in my own circle was that, there was this willingness to have more of a conversation. And what I was saying to you when I texted that is like, I've always wanted to have that conversation. And one of the things I struggle with is being a people pleaser is I don't want to make my white friends around me feel uncomfortable, right? And people say, oh, why wouldn't you? It's like, no, because I want to be able to have a conversation that promotes it. And so sometimes, and we all do it different ways.
But
and so for me,
I know.
Yeah, I was going to say just real quick. I was going to say for me, I'd rather you be around me just like, and then you start to understand and learn from me, where it will then change your perspective. And I'll just say this real quick.
Yeah.
One of the biggest examples I saw of this was in the locker room. I went to San Diego State, and we had this one dude, bona fide racist, won't say his name, bona fide racist, and we had this dude, bona fide blood. Banging on, like, straight up, might have some bodies on him.
Yeah.
And these two couldn't be, furthest from each other.
Yeah.
But what I saw through football, through locker room, through proximity, I saw these dudes come together. And today, 30 years, 20-something years later, they are best friends. You can't, when we go to reunions, you can't even see these two not together.
Well,
I'm like, they are friends.
That's beautiful. But my thing is,
it was learning from each other.
It's learning, but you got people in sports. You got something dominated by what we look like.
Yeah.
So it would behoove a white player to keep his mouth shut. Don't you think? Because you're like, you can be racist, but are you going to do it on a football team? Really, you got to kind of keep it. Because I know some guys. Some guys, like look at Drew Brees when he opened his mouth and said what he said about the politics. And they're like, Drew, really? All you played was with brothers that fought behind you, and you went and said that bullshit. But he said it after he left. Why didn't he say it while he was there?
There are guys, and I'm sure you've had.
Am I making sense?
No. You're making sense.
Of course.
I had a teammate with the Raiders, and he used to say the reason why black people are weak is because you guys listen to rap. And he would hold the rap CD at the time, it was a CD. He says, look, hold it to your chest. See, look, it makes you weak. And he'd do all these little things. But like, we all got on him, right? But we were still teammates. And at the end of it, he came out a different dude. Because I think right now what happens is it's like, you have to hate this other person, you have to attack them till they can no longer, till you dismount. Like, and there's another side of it, like in a weird way in the locker room, this is in the NFL, this is not college now. In the NFL, what I learned is that we still know that we have a mission. He's on payroll, we gotta be teammates, we come together. And what happens is the very same dude we used to talk about, like this dude crazy, he's sitting there imagining this crazy crap. He turns around and his heart changed. And when I saw from college and I saw the heart change of a dude who grew up in the boonies, I mean, he asked, and he was very proud of it too, because that's all he knew. And then you got this dude who will pop, 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 real quick. And I was like, how the heck did you two become friends? And that's when I knew, I said, the power of that patient love and the ability to teach, to have the conversation. And they would have those uncomfortable conversations, but they didn't have the label. They didn't have the label.
No, I know. When you have uncomfortable, you don't want to, you say you didn't want to make your white friends uncomfortable.
Yeah, as a people, because I'm a people pleaser, like my natural.
I got you. But then you got Trump getting rid of Black history enough so white folks don't be uncomfortable. So when are they not? It almost seems like they would be uncomfortable all the time.
Right.
They're uncomfortable when you exist. They're mad because you're in the neighborhood. Right. What do you mean when you say uncomfortable? That's damn near everything that we do. That's
so
where do you go?
It's the conversation.
And because sometimes they just don't hold themselves accountable. Period. They don't want to be told a damn thing that. Oh, this is what happened to the Native Americans. This is what, I'm not knocking you, but you gotta just know that, just acknowledge it. Right. But them not being uncomfortable means we're never gonna be able to talk. That's how I feel sometimes.
I understand, and but I think that's why like my mindset was, how do you want to try to attack the hearts?
Right.
You're not finna like, I'm with you. And here's where I think a lot of people mess up, because a lot of people have done this to me. Anybody who's trying to pursue justice, I won't knock the way they're doing it, at least not publicly. That's the problem I think a lot of black people have, considering, everybody black skin, not talking about the culture now, talking about the color. It's like too much front-facing division. Even if you don't agree with the way you're doing something, I'll just tell you in private.
That's it.
Or I won't tell you at all, as long as it's not detrimental. You feel me?
Period.
If you're coming out with a song that's like, we need to be free, I don't know if any white person who's in politics is hearing your song and changing laws, but hey, if this is what you feel for you, do your thing. You feel me? But I feel like a lot of the dilemma is, in this day and age, is if you're doing something the way I don't want to do it, I'm going to undermine what you're doing, which is just hurting the ultimate cause. You know what I'm saying? So my approach was always my approach of, if I can make better change by being inside the room than I can ever make being outside the room yelling at what y'all doing inside the room.
Right. Yeah. And you actually came under a lot of attack. You've been attacked by, like a lot of people within the community, and saying, for the ones that disagree. What is that, like, how does that make you feel? How do you perceive that? And when they come at you in that way?
How it makes me feel sad, disheartened. Like if I'm just being vulnerable, transparent, it makes me feel sad, because like, anybody who really knows me or knows my intention is to promote peace. But I'm going to promote peace in a peaceful manner. I'm not going to promote peace with violence. I don't think it can be gang. I don't think anybody's gonna win if it's like, what, F them, da-da-da. That's just not my objective. So when I've been attacked, speaking about uncomfortable conversations, when I've been attacked for that, I'm just like, one, I'm like, dang, I wish y'all really knew my intention. Two, I'm like, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. We won't make any change if we don't present unified. If we all presenting is, because on the outside, how do we look? How do we look if I'm calling another black person an idiot for their approach, another black person's calling me an idiot for their, now white people confused. Now white people are like, but wait, I actually liked what he was saying. Wait, but this black person saying what he's saying is wrong. So, wait, and then he's, so now the hearts that we're trying to change, they're in turmoil because we're not presenting as a unified front. And what I found interesting about other colors and even other cultures is like, if you at least present as a unified front, it's easier to digest. But if mom and dad are telling you two different things of information, what's the listener supposed to hear? If the substitute teacher and the real teacher are telling you different things, who are you supposed to listen to?
You speak to my heart as a father, and I have this conversation with my wife. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. And I say, if I ever correct the kids or do something with the kids and you think that that's just pull me to the room. But don't correct me in front of the kids because now you've undermined my authority. And now the kids go, well, so dad doesn't know, so it's mom. And then they play this. It's like, come talk to me in private, and then I can then go make the correction or make the change. But when it's like, it's almost like now, it's like this immediate response is anger. And I have to show you that I'm upset by calling you out for the clicks or whatever. Like, you recently had one that went viral with Van Lathan. Van Lathan.
That's the primary one.
Yeah.
Was that, how long ago was that now?
January of 23 or
Because you said what you said, and I know me, I like to do rants and all that. And I said, yo, you know what Acho said? I said, I like Acho, shit. I was like, what did Acho? Anybody ever go Acho, man?
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Damn, I thought I was original. But yeah, so I was like, let me see what he said. I said, man, I don't know. Because being a Nigerian, I kind of know what he's saying. But I was like, let me, and I'm glad that you showed up. I said, we get to talk about this. Because I was like, I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I don't want to say, because I support all the Nigerians that are on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I think people took it the wrong way, what you were saying. If I'm right about how you deal with certain people because you're Nigerian American.
Yeah, I mean, I said there's a lot of things, and I don't really talk about that often just because I don't need to give it oxygen. But that was the most disheartening interview, conversation, and response I've ever had for several reasons. Number one, what was your intention? Right, when I asked what was your intention, the response to my knowledge was like, well, I talk about you a lot off camera, so I didn't want to be like no BI when you hear. And I'm like, who's making you that? Furthermore, like, if you wanted to attack me, I don't need to be present for this. Like, you can attack me when I'm at home doing something else. Because, bro, I don't really do conversations, right? I don't do podcasts, rather. I had vocal cord surgery, so I don't like to talk a lot. Only reason I did it was because my friend at the time, Rachel Lindsay, was on the show. So I see it come through, my dog come through, sure, I'll do it, whatever. As soon as I got on, I was like, oh, I see what type of time you on. You feel me? As soon as I got on, I was like, oh, this is a hit job. Like, this wasn't a, like, because I came on, I got my Emmys in my background and my backdrop, Rachel's like, oh, okay, you got Emmys, and Van just looks mad, just looks mad. And then during the course of the conversation, I was like, I was really just disheartened, and I wasn't as much disheartened for me as I was for us. Because I was like, if somebody's watching this, what are they supposed to assume? What are they supposed to perceive? You just got black people arguing. This guy, you got black people arguing. Like,
and it's like, pick a side.
He was Van Helsing.
What was this? What was the game? What was the game, bro? If you got an issue with my approach, hit my line. You have my number, and you can get my number from your co-host. So I'm very, and maybe because I'm Oprah trained, but I'm very intrigued always by what's your intention and what was your intention for that. It's a lot of people I don't agree with in how they approach trying to reconcile peace in America right now. I've never once publicly undermined somebody. Not somebody black. Not somebody. I've never once publicly undermined somebody.
We should keep practicing that. Like you said, send me a DM or something. Like, hey man,
can we have a conversation?
We have to learn, because we, even in the comedy world, shit, I've had to, like, there's a lot of black comedians do this. We will dog each other. Like, yo, man, that ain't funny. It'll go all in social media. I said, dog, all the other races, even they have beef in between, but you never know.
You rarely hear about it.
Man, he ain't even funny. I had to correct one bro. I ain't gonna say his name. He's famous. I called him up, and I was on Vlad TV or whatever, and I was talking about, I wish they wouldn't be fighting, because this dude is doing well. And why is he getting mad at this cat doing well too? And a lot of us hate when another cat's doing well. I said, so when I said that, and I wasn't dogging him, he called me, yo, why you talking about me? I said, my man, I didn't even dog you. I said, what you're doing doesn't look good. You look like you're looking jealous of this other person. It makes you look bad. I'm trying to protect you. Then he goes, oh, I didn't see it. I said, yeah, but you're so caught up in not anybody having anything. It doesn't work that way. You can't have everything. So listen, you're doing this. You got this movie with this. Why are you about this man's shit.
Do you think?
But he realized it, but it was like that. Why are you coming at me like we got to do constructive criticism?
Yeah, and I think the constructive criticism is so key because I often wonder, because of the meteoric rise that you've had in your career, I wonder if sometimes the attack that you've had, whether it's been in the comment section or whether it's been a Van Lathan or whoever, do you think a lot of that has to do with your meteoric rise, your association with Oprah, some of the people that you've had? Like, do you think any of that has to do with that?
I'll give you two answers.
Yeah.
The first answer I'll give is an answer of, I can't speak for anybody else.
Okay.
It's first answer.
Fair.
Second answer, the human psychology of it all, whether it's my master's degree in psychology or just common sense, is oftentimes people feel like you didn't work for what you got and I should have it. Acho, who are you to speak for Black people? I didn't make myself the spokesperson for Black people.
Right.
I just started talking and people chose to listen. I didn't.
Why would that be a problem, you think, when people say that? Because I've heard people say that, like, you can't speak for us. Like, what does that even
I think
as if you're not us.
I think people are conflating culture and color. The dilemma in America that we're subject to is Black based on the color, not exclusively Black based on the culture. When I get pulled over by a cop, it's not, oh, you Nigerian.
Right.
You look Black. I'm 6'2", 240 and Black.
Right.
You feel me? So the dilemma, the mainstay of the dilemma in America, modern day, is predicated upon the color, not necessarily the culture. But when people are saying you're not one of us, they're talking about the culture.
Right. Yeah.
But the discrimination in America is based upon the color before you ever know the culture.
Damn right.
So I think a lot of people are conflating two things.
And what about you? Because I would consider, and you, I don't want to speak for you, but I would consider me, yourself, I would consider us, quote unquote, bicultural, because we grew up in two different cultures. Like,
facts.
people tell me all the time, like, man, you sound like you white. I was like, I grew up in a Nigerian neighborhood, Nigerian household, and I grew up in South, I would tell anybody, come grow up in the neighborhood I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and tell me, like, how could you get more of a cultural, quote unquote, culture? And that's what a lot of people want you to believe the cultural experience is, because it feels like the culture has to be associated with something negative or bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I also hate that the culture has to be like a monolith. As if being Black is, there's only one way to be Black. And that's the most frustrating thing, and it's also an indictment on Black people. Like, there should be several ways to be able to be Black.
But the thing is, too, is another's propaganda. The people who control the media keep it that way. I mean, you got to think about it. You're born in America. You seeing footage of Africa. It's flies and starving people. When the same people are down the street in America with flies and a big belly on their head. It was like my father used to say this. He said, "Africa, we have nice this," and we didn't believe. We're like, really? It's like, of course we have this, but on the news they will just show like we look like bush people, and it's not the truth. But then, those same people that are showing all these negative things got property over there. They're in Africa hanging out that don't look like you because they want to keep that divide amongst. That's why the Chinese are so amazing, because the Chinese that are here are connected to China. China looks out for the Chinese that are here too. Africa doesn't really do that. There's a separate, they've done it on purpose. I mean, they've bordered off African countries. You got to have a passport to go to the neighboring country, but in Europe, you could take a train to Italy, to boom, and those same people from Europe are the ones that bordered Africa, so that Africans can't talk to each other. So the division of Black, Africans, Caribbeans was done on purpose. It was just purposely done, propaganda. That's why it's hard to change the monolith. We're all different, we're Nigerians, but we all do different types of things. But the propaganda, like, I kind of thank God for the Trump administration, because he's screwing everybody in the ass right now. I love that. I'm a Trump supporter now.
They're gonna come after you.
Let them.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude. I do this on stage, bro. I like that Trump is screwing everybody in the ass right now. Everybody thought they was good, right?
Oh, why? Elaborate.
Because the people that are on welfare are mostly white. And so they're showing their faces, because the poster child for welfare was Black people. It was the welfare mother was Black. Welfare was Black people, but most people on welfare are white. So it's exposing a lot of people, right? A lot of poor whites, poor farmers, like, I don't have any money. Oh, but poverty was a Black thing, and that's not the fact.
So you're saying that's exposing it.
Everybody's being evenly exposed, like, oh, you don't have money either. But it always makes it look like Black. We're 14% of America and 100% of the problem. are we doing here? There's black people doing well, doing very well. There are black families with fathers, there's all of that. 83% of black fathers take care of their children. The highest percentage of fathers are black that take care of their kids. Out of white fathers, out of Asian fathers. But would you know that? Who has the highest degrees in America? Black women. But would you know that? No, because they're always twerking on the goddamn TV.
Right.
All we see is twerking. When black women are engineers, they're busting their ass, but we got to get it down to a twerk.
Yeah.
That's.
And I also think too, part of it too is like music.
Yes.
The music industry has influenced us in such a way where it's almost like you have to have this. Like I think about, there have been certain people out there where they've had certain influences. Their kids want to get into rapping and whatever, and feel like I have to portray that I lived a quote unquote lower lifestyle, and this has become the standard of means you are a real one. You are a real one. Like, and I always trump people with that one because they go like, "You're not a real one." Like, what makes me not a real one? Right? Like, is it the sound of my voice? And I'm like, how do we get out of how do we get that conversation out? Because I was like, hey, first off, I don't speak white. I don't even know what that means. I was like, I speak the way Akbar speaks, and this is just the sound that's coming out.
Word.
But then the other part of that is like, who told you that proper only belonged to one race?
Yeah.
Like, who told you proper belongs to one race?
Yeah.
And that improper has been has been supported through our music, through whoever makes the decisions for movies, to where they go like, this is what it means to be. Like I've been told by my marketing agent. I remember telling him like, yeah, you're just a little too clean. That's why you don't have the same type of marketability. You're just a little too clean. I'm like, keep talking. What does that even mean? You're too clean. I was like, you're like, what? And I forgot. Oh man, there's just a movie about this. The dude, he's a book writer.
Oh yeah.
It's
with Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yes. I saw it. It was so good.
And I told.
Oh,
Jeffrey,
American Fiction.
Yeah, American Fiction.
Yeah.
And I told Jeffrey, I said, that movie spoke to me so much because it was like he was able to sell all these books because he portrayed like, oh, I'm straight hood. I'm from
because he followed that other chick that wrote that hood-ass book.
Yeah, right. And then that's what was put out. And I thought, like, wow. I said, I guess I won't get the big marketing deals because I got to portray what you think the culture is. And so I like, what's the conversation to change that? That's the conversation I really want to have, to where we don't have to have or think there's this monolith of this is what it means to be black.
But even black people in power got to be the same way too, because auditioning for stuff. I'm sure you probably start auditioning for stuff. I don't know, for film, whatever. You got black producers and all that want you to fill that stereotype. You go, bruh, really? Like they only see, you know what I mean?
I think but it has to be done in like a mass cultural way. That's in the same way that Black Panther reinvented being African. Now Africans were intelligent. We had the stuff that would heal people. Now the land looked classy.
Been doing it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like now it looked at. I think there has to be a cultural movement that redefines what it's like to be black. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Michael B. Jordan and with this Sinners thing, they're changing the game. His contract that Coogler has, he's owning everything. They have to give him all of this because the movie that's making this money out of the box office is an original idea. It's not Marvel. It's not, and for an all black cast. B. Jordan, and they're changing Hollywood contracts for producers, and he's owning all his property, like everything. He gets the back end, and they had to do it because streaming is failing. So for black people to be helping the box office goes to tell you what Wesley Snipes did in 1999. I was with Stanley. My friend worked for Stanley. He said, hey man, he showed me Wesley Snipes saved Marvel. It was Blade. Blade said, black people sell. We can change, like you said, it has to be a big cultural thing. They have to believe that this is, first you gotta see our humanity first. It's when you don't see our humanity, you just think we're these things that jump and run.
But we also, man, like I think we gotta create content that does that. I mean, you think about some of the biggest shows and the biggest podcasts right now, and I won't say them, but y'all can use your own imaginations. It's just black people going on there to criticize other black people.
Right.
It's the craziest thing. It's just black people going on a show to this black person did me wrong, this black person ain't funny, and this black person's wife looks crazy, and all these black people's wives look the same way, and all these black, and it's like, wait, so that's the highest watched interview ever on YouTube? That? Like just a black man criticizing all black people? Like that was it? Like if we were to choose the highest watched YouTube interview ever, and it's that?
Right.
Yeah.
Like what's that say about our appetite and how we're satiated by this? So I have to take some ownership. We all got to take ownership.
Yeah,
I can put it to some degree on propaganda, but there comes a point in time where we're playing a role in the propaganda. We're hamsters on the wheel.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I got to look at my friends that look like me, and we got to take ownership of it. Like
right. Yeah, and sometimes the ownership, is, our own egos. Taking ownership of our own egos because, those things, quote unquote, they get the clicks.
They do.
Get the views.
They do.
And so it's like, that's what it then suggests then that's what
works.
That's what works. And then what happens is it's this whole victimization, right? Like, oh, this happened, we did this. And it's just this crazy cycle that continues to happen, and nothing ever changes until we just tear each other down until there's nothing else.
And that's what, crazy enough, that's what gets the clicks.
Exactly.
Think about, again, I won't say the name, let y'all's imaginations wander.
Well, I guess this is not gonna get any views.
Like, think about, bro, like, think about the most popular Instagram media aggregation that black people go to.
Yeah.
It's predicated upon throwing dirt on other people, even by its name, by the name of the room.
I know the room.
It is predicated upon being slight, like, and it's the biggest
room of darkness.
like literally, like when you really take a step back and you think about that for a moment. By title alone, this is predicated not on uplifting, and it's the biggest aggregate. It's where we all go. It's our hub.
Yeah.
And it's not uplifting. Yeah, And then to your point, we won't even talk about who founded it and who created it. But like when you really think about that, I'm like,
but isn't that that's the model for, and it comes even from the Bible. From a biblical standpoint, you realize that darkness has the ability to corrupt light. Like it has darkness has to, like my mom used to always tell me to be mindful of the people that you hang out with, because good or bad company corrupts good company.
Yeah.
And it's the same, I think it's that same mindset of, what we're seeing on social and throughout all these different platforms. But I want to move to something else real quick. We hear this a lot in the NFL and in sports and athletes, like the most amount of money you're ever gonna make is right here, right? You flip that. You've made more money outside of football. Like, what is your thought? What have you learned about money? What have you learned about that saying that happens throughout a lot of, and there's some guys who will make way more money in football than they'll ever make, but the majority of guys are probably more like you and I than the ones who are hitting the $500 million contract.
Yeah. I learned the biggest thing, money doesn't change you. Money just makes you more who you are. That's real.
Yep.
Right.
Money don't change you.
Yeah.
Money don't change you at all.
Yeah.
If you were generous, you're just gonna be more generous.
Yep.
If you're selfish, you're gonna be more selfish. Like if you're arrogant, you're just gonna be more arrogant. Money didn't change me. Money just exposed more of who I was. I used to like nice watches. I had 2 of them. I got more wealthy. I got 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Money don't change people. Money don't change you. That's a lie. Money don't change you. The other thing I realized, bro, is like, for me at least, it's not hard to make money. How do you want to make money? That's what's
not hard to make money.
Not hard to make
How
money.
do you want to make money?
How do you
want to make money?
Yeah.
Well,
right?
man.
Like, do you want to make money as an author? Do you want to make money as a writer? Do you want to make money as a public speaker? Do you want to make money on sports TV? Like, making money, once you know how to make money, making money is not hard in my mind. People get so caught up and I want to make, now once you know how to make money, you can make money. How do you want to make money?
Yeah.
How do you want to spend your time? And then, is the way you're making money, what's it doing to the world?
Yeah.
And what's it doing to your heart? What's it doing to your spirit?
Yeah.
Like, making money to me, that's not hard. It's how do you want to do it and where do you want to put your time?
Yeah, you become the most interesting Nigerian man on the planet. There's
Well, that's why I sold drugs in Harlem, baby. Pay in full, baby. Get that money quick. You know what I mean? I feel you, man. Thank you. I was about to stop selling to the black community. Yeah, but shit, I'm all in now.
What's the Dos Equis dude? It's the most interesting man in the world.
The most interesting man. This dude.
Because you've made money in multiple ways. You've made money playing football.
Yeah.
Check. You've made money as an author. Check.
Boom.
You've made money as a speaker. Check.
Boom.
You've made money as an analyst, as a sports analyst. Check.
Damn.
Well, what's the next way you're gonna make money?
Yeah.
I know you got another book probably coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep writing.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep writing. And then like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm a creative. I think the burden I feel like on my life is I've been given a lot of ability to do a lot of things. So I would be wasting my life to not do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's how I would suggest it's the burden and a freedom. But it's like, bro, if you skilled, go use the skill.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, how can you not use the, because I didn't choose to, God blessed you, blessed me, blessed you, like, go maximize it. Like, what are you doing? That's why I work so hard. I don't work so hard because I care to be the richest. I don't work so hard because I care to be famous. I work so hard because like, okay, you only have a limited amount of time on this earth. And how can you maximize this limited amount of time? And when I look at my creator, when it's all said and done, I want to hear well done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I'm doing everything here to hear well done, my good and faithful servant. That's the only reason I'm doing all this nonsense. Because half the time I don't want to do it. I told people all the time, I didn't want to do uncomfortable conversations with a black man.
Really?
No, first and foremost, I paid for it myself. Let's not get it twisted. I did not know I was going to make money doing this. I had 37,000 Instagram followers at the time. Nothing. I did not know I was going to make money doing this. I rented the studio space. I hired the wedding videographer. I had to find the music.
You just wanted to get the conversation out there.
I just wanted to try to help the world. I had no idea I was going to make money. So I'm spending a couple racks there. Then I'm going to Waco to shoot the episode with Chip and Joanna Gaines. Couple racks there. Episode with McConaughey. Couple racks there. I'm spending all the money.
You have a sponsor.
No, I still, to this day, I don't have a sponsor. I just shot an episode last week. Katie Thurston, former Bachelorette, announced she has cancer at 34 years old. That cost me $18,000.
Damn.
Wow.
Just to shoot the episode. I'm not making money off that.
Right.
By the way, like even when I was doing uncomfortable conversations, I wasn't running YouTube ads because the intention wasn't to make money. So if I'm going to run an ad and it's going to make you click off, I'm not going to do it. Everybody hit me up to come on the show, but I didn't want to do people that were promoting movies and books because this show was pure. I turned down all the, hey, I got a movie coming out. Hey, my client has a movie coming out. No, that's why I only did so few episodes. So it was never about money. People just see Acho, oh, make this money, Acho, you don't deserve this. Bro, you don't even know the intention. You don't even know my heart. You don't even know, like, you never would have done this because you wouldn't have spent the money because it was just pure. You know what I'm saying?
I had no, that's another layer that.
But this is why we have a show like this, because we want people to see the different sides of people. That's why we have that. Because we only know you through blurbs, like, oh, he said that, okay, good night. So it's normal for people to go, man, talking all that shit. But then this is why we have this right here. That's why we came up with this. That's why I said, oh, do something with Akbar? I said, hell yeah. Bong, and I live in New York, but I said, oh yeah, we gotta do this. And so that's why.
And I don't know that I've even shared that aspect publicly. People don't realize I paid for uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, they should know that.
When Oprah came along, Oprah paid for the period once it was, for those like 10 episodes in there, Oprah paid for like episode 4 to episode 10. The last 5 episodes, I paid for. When my friends called me after Roe versus Wade was overturned, and my friends had ectopic pregnancy, so they had to have an abortion. One got pregnant at 18. They said, Emmanuel, do something. I paid for it. Yeah. Like now I trust God will bless me on the back end. Right. Like, hey, if I'm coming out of pocket, God, I need you to show up. Public speaking deal here, hopefully commercial. But like, bro, I pay for it all. And then I just trust it will take care of itself. But that's why when people are like, you don't deserve da-da-da-da, bro, you wouldn't have done this. When I wrote my book, I didn't sleep the night I had to write the proposal. You know, books take 2-3 years. I wrote my book in 4 months. Number 3 on the bestsellers list.
You did it yourself?
You wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I wrote the whole proposal. Then I didn't literally type it. I didn't have the bandwidth. I just verbalized. You type. Verbalize.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. Because I have thoughts of a book. You guys have a book too? Yep. I don't have a book. You guys have helped me.
All right.
I got you.
Our book, it's called Pimpin'. Yeah.
I don't know if that title's gonna.
Oh, damn.
I think there's a book already.
None.
That's it.
But I'm really serious.
Yeah.
People are like, why aren't you writing a book? I go, I don't really know how to go about it. You know, I don't know, because so many people, you can go to the wrong person, but I'm going to ask
Oh,
you
we
guys.
got you then.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's a worthy exhaustion. I tell people all the time, like writing a bock is exhausting.
I was approached to do another book, and I was like, I'm good. Because I poured so much into it that it beat me up. Maybe now, 4 or 5 years later, I'm like, all right, maybe I'm ready for it. But it took so much out of me. I was like, man, I literally gave everything I had to it. So it's a labor of love. It's not like you make a grip of money off of it. It is, you really is like, what's your intention? And so your intention behind it is where you find the gratification. Like, what's the value behind the book? How did you feel when your book got removed from the Naval Academy Public Library by the Defense Secretary after President Donald Trump's executive order? That was painful because I know a lot went into that.
That's disheartening. I think it's disheartening for several reasons. One, the labor that I put into that book for it to be banned. Hours writing a book. I, again, had vocal cord surgery, was recording the audio book for that book, burst blood vessels in my vocal cords, labored writing my book, but then also the state of the world. Like, where are we now in society that we're banning books? But I said, like, you can silence the pages, you can't silence a person. And so that's the nature in which I think we have to move.
What is the book?
The one they banned was Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man.
With a Black Man. Okay.
Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Boy is banned in some parts of Florida.
Of course.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
But people can still get it.
That is crazy.
It's already a bestseller.
It's already a bestseller.
Yeah,
That's why. But what's funny is like a lot of those kind of books. I always say, guys, half my African American, African history books, I got them on my own. They're not teaching you at school. They don't teach you that in school. So get it on your own. Stop being lazy. Order that stuff.
I have one more. I wanted to give you an opportunity to respond to this. A lot of people were mad about your Angel Reese criticism, and just wanted to give you that platform to talk about it. Of course, people came from different angles. Do you regret anything that you said in that situation? You want to remind kind of people the situation of that? Is that something you want to relive?
No, I won't comment on that. There's just no point. There's no point. I know Angel's publicity team, and interestingly enough, I hit them up and I said, yo, all right, if Angel was offended by it, I'll talk to her in person and apologize, right? Like, I'm not real big on beef for no reason.
Yeah.
I reached out to them. They were like, oh, Angel's busy right now, da-da-da. I bet. I sent her a video. Hey, because the text is one thing.
No doubt.
Hey,
A
Angel,
video.
Emmanuel Acho, da-da-da-da, send it to her team, pass this along to Angel. And as long as I can sleep at night, bro, and I know my heart and I know my intention, and I make effort to remedy and make peace when possible.
No doubt. That's the way we do. Hold ourselves accountable. Call it a day, man.
Last one for us. We all want to. You've had public relationships. You've probably had private relationships.
Yes, son.
Where do you stand on where you're? I mean, people, we've seen you on The Bachelor. We've
What were you doing on The Bachelor?
In a different capacity.
I was hosting.
Yeah, he was hosting in a different capacity. But you're still on The Bachelor.
Hanging out with the snow bunny.
Yeah. Which leads us to this next question. What's Emmanuel Acho's dating life? And every Nigerian family is going to say, why don't you do?
Get you a Nigerian. Get that.
You have one publicly.
I did. Man, after my very, very, very public relationship in maybe 2018, I was like, man, keeping everything private is just best, bro.
Yeah.
Like, man, when you're dating a public figure and you're kind of a public figure, everything is just scrutinized. Everything. Like, we couldn't post nothing without it being on a shade room here and a shade room there. And then when you stop posting, people are reading into it. So now, bro, I just keep everything private. The hard part is all my siblings are married. And they, you feel me?
They
So
on you.
Mom and Pops are looking at me like, so when is your own? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for now, I'm in a good place.
Cool.
They say, and I've heard this, and I truly believe this, is that the best of us must help the rest of us. You found a way to help the rest of us through your conversations. We appreciate that. So many people have learned from it and gotten better from that. And so I think I got to ask you, because you've been so successful in a lot of things. Can you see Emmanuel Acho getting into politics? Could you see Emmanuel Acho maybe getting into movies and acting? What's next? Because it just seems like whatever you do, you seem to turn it around.
Yeah.
Politics, never. I recall even when I was doing Uncomfortable Conversation, the pastor came up to me. He said, never get behind a pulpit. He said, this is your pulpit. In the same manner, I view politics. Like, I have a bigger platform. The platform I have, politics is too polluted. People will just hate you as soon as you say you're on one side for no other reason. What's next? I'm working on a song, like a world healing song. I write.
Like Heal the World.
Working on the next world.
He gonna be on the piano.
I won't give too many details on camera. Off camera, but it's special.
He's singing the song.
Wow, like
Special.
Heal the World.
Yeah, the next like world anthem type joint. I was talking to God and I said, God, if you wanted me to write a message for the world, what would it say? And he said, we are one. And I said, all right.
We are one. Wow, we are one. Well, we are 154.
Oh.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I lied to you. I told you I had one last one. But this is the last one. How the hell do you keep your edge up so
I just asked him.
I done lost my hair and I'd be looking, I'm like.
Did you lose your hair? No. I thought you just shaved it bald. No, hey.
You know what? I can't stand you edge up people. You edge up people think you guys are so much better.
No, hey,
Acho. You are so much better. How the hell do you have such a clean edge up, man?
No.
I be going through his IG like, one day I'm gonna catch him with a bad edge up. One day. And it's just
he got that
clean.
from Steve Harvey.
Hey, you gotta hit him, Akbar, with the God only made so many beautiful heads, the rest he covered with hair.
Dang.
Hey, I like, okay, all right, I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, you use that
one. Appreciate y'all.
It was awesome. It was a pleasure meeting you, bro.
Pleasure.
Emmanuel Acho. What's up, man?
My dog.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home.